Hyeon is just a very ordinary rank sea tanker. One day, she and her friends went into a dungeon to find hidden treasures. Unfortunately, they were attacked by a swarm of mantis monsters. To save their lives, everyone ran out to escape, leaving Hyeon to face the danger. Just when everything seemed hopeless, Hyeon luckily found the parasitic ring. Thanks to this ring, she transformed into a different person, possessing the skill of immortality. Will this parasitic ring affect Hyeon life later on? Let us follow Academy Manhwa together. The Senfitarai begins with a scene of a giant bug gnawing on a piece of blood-stained cloth, accompanied by a girl's weak cries for help. Knowing that she was surrounded by a swarm of bugs, she no longer cared about living. Just kill me, she thought. I would rather meet my ancestors, she thought, as tears of helplessness rolled down her face. A teardrop fell into a puddle of still water. Earlier, inside the castle, a group of hunters were discussing among themselves. Hyeon. Think carefully. No one knows there is a hidden dungeon here. Let us clear it ourselves and keep it a secret, her teammate agreed. After all, we are hunters, and the money we get from clearing dungeons is not even minimum wage, Hyeon thought pensively. After a while, he made a decision that no one expected. Okay, let us break through together. Hyeon worriedly grabbed his hand. Maybe it's better not to go in. I just think it might be dangerous. Hyeon turned around sharply, put his hand on her shoulder, and said, Koi, when will we ever get another chance like this? Everyone else agreed. Why are you the only one objecting? Do you have to embarrass me in front of the whole guy or rup? Koi said in a trembling voice. No, I do not mean that. I am just afraid there will be worm monsters like in the previous dungeons. Hyeon gave a bright, meaningful smile. Koi, how long are you going to be afraid of those worm monsters? Have you forgotten how much trouble you caused us last time? If it's too difficult, just quit. We can do without a rank sea tanker like you. But Choi, without you, do you think I could get into any other exploration then? She replied hesitantly. No. He began to use psychological manipulation. That is right. Just trust me and do as I say. Koi bit her lip, thinking, yeah, it's thanks to Hyeon that I got into this association. I have been too selfish. Hyeon put on a sinister expression, looked straight at Choi, and asked, I am your boyfriend, so I am saying this because I love you. You understand my heart, right? She could only answer in fear. Hyeon. Thank you. Hyeon is the only one who loves me even though I am so incompetent. After resolving everything smoothly, he smiled and said to Choi, okay, so shall we go? You are the tanker, so you have to go first. She nodded weakly and said to herself, I do not want to disappoint Hyeon anymore. Koi led the way with her shield in hand. After only a few steps, a sea-brippy pie sound came from somewhere. In front of the Githa Rupee was a swarm of ferocious mantises. One of the guys was so scared that he shouted, Damn, why are there so many? The mantis monsters bared their sharp teeth and rushed madly towards the humans. The geeky Rupee of hunters fought hard against them. Wipe them, oh. Take care of yourselves. Hyeon stood behind and said, Koi, we can handle these guys. You just need to hold your ground. She did her best to block the monsters. Endure. I have to endure. If I can hold on, my teammates will be able to take down all the monsters. Choi closed her eyes in utter fear. But just a few seconds later, she quickly revived her fighting spirit. Do not be afraid. It's almost UV. An arrow pierced through the mantis's mouth, successfully killing one. But they had to face hundreds more waiting in front of them. There are too many of them. Hyeon, what should we do? He also began to panic at the sight of the monster's powerful army. On Choi's side, she tried to clench her teeth and endure. Ada hurts too much. I can't take a tea anymore. How long do I have to endure this? In this critical situation, Koi had to ask for help. Hyeon, heal me. I can't hold on anymore. As soon as she turned her head, she saw her hunter teammates running. Oh. Koi stood up in shock. Is he running away, leaving me behind? She screamed Hyeon's name in despair, while he turned back to look at her with a resentful expression. That idiot. I told her to stay and endure. The monsters continued to rush forward madly. Koi immediately threw away her shield and ran towards the door with everyone else. Wait for me. Hyeon. As soon as he saw him about to close the door, a girl loudly stopped him. Hey, are you crazy? Hyeon is not yet, but he coldly replied. So what? Let go. Koi arrived just as the door slammed shut. She slammed her hand hard on the door and kept screaming in fear. Open 80, open the door. Hyeon-chan, please. Outside, they were arguing with each other. Are you crazy? She is your girlfriend. But Hyeon-chan blurted a sentence that shattered Hyeon-koi's heart. So what if she is my girlfriend? Everyone's about to die. Koi will understand. Mantises were very close to Choi. She swallowed her tears and looked around. It's not time to despair. Seeing a bright light coming from the forest, Hyeon-choi did not think much and ran quickly into the forest. She still had a strong belief in her boyfriend. I have to survive first. As long as I am alive, Hyeon-chan will come back to save me. Suddenly, she stopped because she noticed something. A giant, eerie ancient tree appeared before Choi's eyes. The glittering light on the branches caught her attention. What is that? Koi mustered her courage and went closer to take a look. It's a ring. Could it be a hidden item? She curiously put the ring on her finger. A light flashed on the jade surface. A notification from the system suddenly appeared. This is the X-rank parasitic ring, interfering with the wearer's growth process. Interfering with the wearer's life, regenerating the wearer. Koi was overjoyed as if she had found the last hope in her life. Final notification appeared. Cannot die until the egg is fully hatched. The smile on Choi's face gradually disappeared. This is the end. How do I use it? The strange sound of the mantises made her jump. They jumped on Koi, causing her to fall to the ground. At the moment of being attacked by the mantises, she could only widen her eyes and cry for help. Help me. Koi's body was covered with wounds. She was in so much pain that tears streamed down her face. In this situation, Koi could only beg, stop it, please. Her hands gradually gave up. The parasitic ring suddenly emitted a mysterious golden light. Cannot die until the egg is fully hatched. Koi's body began to writhe. Her eyes rolled back. She gasped for breath and sat up in confusion. What was that? Did I just come back to life? How is that possible? Koi was startled again when she looked at everything in front of her. The mantises were still waiting to surround her. Koi screamed loudly in fear and tried to turn around and run away. Unfortunately, she was stabbed by the mantis's sharp claws. Her comrades began to come and enjoy the delicious prey. The system continued to notify, cannot die until the egg hatches. And so everything repeated as if it had been programmed. Koi said in a weak voice, I am alive again. Please, someone help me. I do not want to die. Just as she finished speaking, she was stabbed in the back by a fatal blow from the mantis's claws. Koi's heartbreaking screams echoed everywhere. My leg, please do not eat me. In her most desperate moment, she could only call Hyeon-chan's name. Save me. Seeing the bug baring its sharp teeth, Koi now had to face the door of death. No, the system reappeared, cannot die until the egg hatches. Everything was like a loop with no end. Koi lay helplessly on the ground and wondered, how long have I been here? A few years or a few decades? No, more than that. When will I be freed? Do I have to be bait for these guys forever in this place? Just when everything seemed to end meaninglessly, Hyeon-choi discovered her sword lying on the ground. So Ada fell here. Ada's the birthday present Hyeon-chan gave me. That bastard, he abandoned me. I said I did not want to go in, but he pushed me in just for that cheap hidden item. Into this hell. The mantises stared at her with hungry eyes. The resentment in Hyeon-choi flared up violently. I will destroy all of you. She quickly grabbed the sword, then slashed decisively towards the mantises. The system notified. Monster eliminated. Strength +2. Koi was a little surprised. What? Is 80 that easy to increase stats? Before she could catch her breath, another swarm rushed in. But his sister still asked the reason why she refused, not knowing where Payak was. Then his sister asked again, do not tell me you do not know me. She still hoped that she did not know her, so she thought AT was a scam. Hyeon-choi also replied that she knew. She was one of the miracle sister pair, but she still did not understand why she was rejected. Kim Dongju came out to stop his sister from continuing because AT was too embarrassing, but she was too shocked that she knew her and still refused. He made up a random reason, then advised his sister to go home quickly when he wanted to leave this place quickly, and was feeling very worried. Afraid that his sister would find out that he was lying, that he was ambiguous with Hyeon-koi, while his sister was still needing to calm down. Young Kim and Dongju Kim, both levels. Becoming a levels awakened was a miracle, so she remembered their names, and the media and Nara also called them the miracle sister pair. She continued to use the sword in her hand to confront them, accuracy +1. Thinking then she still did not understand why the two came to find her. At this moment, Yeon Kim had collapsed, saying that she did not know where to find members anymore. Hyeon-koi asked if their guild did not have hunters. Dongju replied. That is the thing. While urging his sister to stand up, he explained that they could not find suitable members. That is all. Still being very sad, but Yan said not to let her meet Dongju again, making him have to stop her because he saw that his sister was crazy. Hyeon Choi heard that, also understood what she meant, and called Kim Dongju's name, making him have to quickly cover up, saying that she knew his personality, so do not listen to that gorilla sister's nonsense. Then she smiled and said, Sorry, I do not like him. Dongju felt very wronged when he had not confessed yet. And there was an older sister behind him holding back her laughter. Hyeon Choi laughed very happily after saying that sentence, making him annoyed, and his sister also realized that Ada was unrequited love, and so Choi easily eliminated the mantis monsters. Stamina +1. Suddenly Hyeon Choi's person became very strange when she sensed a crack. The two sisters were still arguing. She did not know where the feeling just now came from. Dongju noticed Ada, asking what she was looking at. She asked, Do not you feel anything? Making him surprised. In Hyeon Choi's eyes, there was something very serious. She saw the strange crack, warning the two people behind. Then called them, Look behind you. Seeing the scene in front of her, she said that they had to leave here quickly, because the crack was getting bigger and bigger. While running, Dongju wondered how she knew, but who could know in advance, and their current goal was to run away. Wounds from combat are recovering. The crack had now grown into a hole, and there was a very large source of power in AT, creating a current chaos. AT had shattered the glass doors. There was also a giant tornado in the sky, blowing everything away. The three of them were still running in chaos. Hyeon Choi said that the tornado was devouring everything. Dongju felt lucky that she discovered it in time. Then she opened her eyes wide in surprise, realizing that the hole of light was the hidden dungeon. AT was still getting bigger. The police had sealed off the dangerous scene. The people were very confused when they saw this. Hyeon Choi now understood how to use this ring. The two Hyeon Choi and Dongju went together. He felt that if this dungeon was sucked in, AT would be UV. While she was still looking around at the situation, Hyeon Choi said when the two of them went in there, he also asked back, Do you want to go in there? The two agreed. Since there was a new dungeon, there was no need to have a chance to go in. Then they saw Kim Yeon arguing with the police that she wanted to go out to sea, making her brother helpless. There was a call for Song Ae-kyung. When the two of them were still arguing, the girl also greeted Dongju. This was the level of supporter for the Seal Hunter Special Task Force. He asked what his sister did wrong again, but Yeon denied 80. Then told that the three of them found the dungeon, but they would not let them in. Dongjun came out to help, advising the girl not to be so difficult, but Kang Song wanted them to follow the regulations. She would not stop them. Yeon Kim was annoyed by the procedures, afraid that the dungeon would close after waiting. The support staff confirmed that there was no such thing and said she needed a thim to go in. There was a girl standing to the side watching Yeon get angry, when this woman wanted to go in right away but was stopped. She laughed with the air of a victor. Nam Yeon, the level a healer of the Payok Guild, spoke up, saying that she was late. Seeing only Nam Yeon, as Kim Yeon unleashed her anger asking where the others were, making it difficult for her to speak. Then she also told the truth. They saw there were two levels hunters so they did not come. She was very angry hearing that. After that, Kim Yeon acted pitiful, to have the tank Hyeon Choi go with them. The two sisters were shocked when they could not see her anywhere just now. The four people stood there, looking up at the sky at the hidden dungeon, still not believing AT. Kim Dongju thought in his head, very annoyed at the way she acted, wanting to curse. Nam Yeon asked him if they also acted like Hyeon Choi, but Kim Dongju was afraid that the guild leader would know. Then AT would be ruined. His sister heard her brother say that, again going crazy and yelling, when she also wanted to go inside that dungeon. He explained that Hyeon Choi was weird, but his sister also wanted to be a weird person. Now, the weak Hyeon Choi of the past has transformed into a different person. Charge in. You bastards. I will clean you all up. Kim Yeon ran to say she would go in there, making her brother also shocked. Kim Dongju had to run back to hold her, telling everyone to hold this woman back. She was still struggling, determined to go in there, having to use all his strength to control his sister. He wanted to take back what he said just now because his sister was crazy, and he had to be around many crazy women. He replied when someone called him Hunter Kim Dongju. Also confirmed when Kang Song asked about the fact that Hyeon Choi had entered the dungeon. Then she nodded and nodded, saying she understood. Kim Dongju was also confused when she asked as if she knew Hyeon Choi, but Kang Song covered up, saying AT was nothing. Hearing her answer, But he was still thinking why he asked that Hyeon Choi was not interested in many people. Also not knowing how to enter the hidden dungeon. Then saw that they should not go together when she was said to be level C, but her fighting looked more like level A. Then she would be accused of cheating her rank and be thrown into prison. I can escape from here. Hyeon Chan, my dear boyfriend Hyeon Chan. The more Kim Dongju thought, the more he found Ada troublesome. Just hearing people announce that the results of the dungeon measurement were Ovai Libam, as Yun was excited to be able to enter inside. The staff said with a hesitant voice, the current dungeon assessment is level B. But this was only a preliminary measurement of the power emanating from the dungeon, so this was only a relative number before the dungeon exploded. Nam Yan was horrified to learn that there could be more inside the dungeon. The staff wanted to report to the guild to receive help, then Kim Yan was very annoyed, saying that if they did that, the dungeon would explode, like the Sifatura 8 years ago. Kim Dongju just called his sister, then was yelled at to shut up because he could not help. He seriously said, Hyeon Choi is in danger. Then he ran very fast and said he would go first, making his sister not understand what was happening. Looking at the hidden dungeon, Kim Yan said, I am going too. On the other side, someone was walking in the forest and complaining that AT was really boring. Just wait a little longer. At this time, Hyeon Choi was discouraged when she wandered around in the dungeon and did not get anything because AT was too big. So what more could she expect? Her expression now was becoming surprised. Looking ahead, but still not knowing what AT was. Going closer to the large but very ancient-looking structure, she was thoughtful again. Then again exclaimed that AT was really old, and found AT interesting to explore the hidden relics in the dungeon. In Hyeon Choi's head, she thought that this place was probably built by people but she could not see them, and no one would discover AT because the monsters could not talk. When she turned to the other side and continued to think how she knew the dungeon would appear, there were many clumps of fur falling behind her back. She sensed AT and smiled excitedly, saying that AT finally came because she had been waiting here for a long time. The huge winged eye monster was standing looking at her. Hyeon Choi also teased that AT was terribly ugly, also asking if the pair of wings was heavy. In just a blink of an eye, the mantises were beaten to a pulp by Hyeon Choi. The monster heard that, then stretched out its pair of wings. AT angrily rushed down, and used its power wildly like a moth flying down. Ada seemed that the power was quite large, hitting Hyeon Choi's place, destroying the entire area. Luckily she dodged AT. She gradually used her power to bounce up. Her face still did not change color, staring at the monster. Then, AT was a very strong rebound. The monster also felt the danger from her. Then Hyeon Choi jumped up and used a power punch, asking if IT had nothing to say. Then she liked hitting AT and said, Die, you ugly thing. She rushed in like a hunter, sweeping away everything. With just one critical move from her, the monster's eye shot out syrup. Ada fell down in her witness. But she had to cover her ears because AT was too noisy, not understanding where the noise was coming from even though AT could not speak. The monster fell down, creating a large aftershock for the ground. At this time, Hyeon Choi was very happy when she heard a little quiet. Although AT was seriously injured in the eye, AIT was still groaning. She did not expect AT to be alive, and reevaluated the power of the monster. Hyeon Choi with her current expression was very flattering, because AT was very good that AT was not dead after one of her blows. Looking at the monster's corpse, she wondered why there was only one. Where were the others? Then again had to be surprised when she heard a lot of high-pitched screams. Suddenly, a mantis stabbed her from behind. Hyeon Choi realized that this gang had arrived. Guessing that the scream just now was to call the gang to come. She looked up. In the sky was a flock of monsters flying around. Then again smiled awkwardly because she saw AT was too much. The monsters were all rushing towards one side. Hyeon Choi also helplessly said that they wanted to gang up when she was alone. Each arrow they shot was aiming straight at the place where she was standing. She reacted at this time and jumped up, also very happy that she dodged all of their moves, also criticizing them for only having that much. When she dodged their move, she also realized that after the first attack, they would need another 10 seconds to refresh their skills. At the moment they stopped attacking, that moment made Choi freeze. She decisively used her power to split the monster in half. The others were also slashed away by Hyeon Choi, also just by her critical and accurate blows. Hyeon Choi was still taking down the monster eyes step by step. Her hand at this time was flowing a lot of plasma from that gang. But AT was no problem. She even stretched to relieve fatigue. Then was suddenly surprised when the system reported that one stat increased. Then again many identical announcements, making her confused. At this time, she turned to look at something again. Hyeon Choi's expression now, Anyone who saw Ati would find Ati eerie. The ring on her hand activated again, then looked up at the ones in the sky still flying around. She had a somber expression at this time, then again strangely excited. On the outside of the dungeon, Namyeon was very worried when Kim Dongju had entered inside. Alone she could not stop his sister. Then she turned to ask Kim Yeon if she still had not received permission to enter the dungeon. The staff was also sweating when she heard Namyeon's question. But she had to be surprised again, not knowing what was wrong with Kim Dongju's sister. Her expression was very excited when she saw her younger brother go in to save his lover and felt very romantic. Then said she must go in to see. Someone stopped her, not wanting Yeon to create another reason to go in there. Kim Yeon was happily running straight into the dungeon, in the witness of 3 other people. Kang Song was very angry that she went in without permission, but Namyeon stood up to apologize. And so Choi was revived and continued to fight. She slashed decisively towards the mantis. Bastard. Kim Yeon was about to go inside, instructing Namyeon to tell the guild leader that the fault was her brother's, and also said see you later. Inside the dungeon, Hyeon Choi was still showing her skills. Each blow she struck caused the stats to increase very quickly. The number could increase even more. She was enjoying Ada very much when she had not had this feeling for a long time. When they fell to the ground one by one, like shooting stars. Then she had a feeling like something was filling up. Hyeon Choi felt that her body was strange again. Her personality turned into someone else and felt that AT was not enough, wanting to kill more. She was still hovering near a monster eye. Its head rolled on the ground like a ball. Then AT moved its wings. There were many shurikens flying towards her. Hyeonko reacted, bouncing up wanting more power. Then jumped on top of the monster. A soul was trying to awaken in her body. When she stepped straight on the monster. After that, Hyeon Choi grabbed its wing. She asked if it was the last one, but this one was making a lot of noise. Hyeon Choi was slowly tearing the monster's wing, still asking if there were any more because she was not satisfied. Its wing at this time was broken in half and making a very high-pitched sound. She, with a savage face, saw that she really wanted AT to cry louder. Choi sighed. AT stabbed right through. She gently placed her hand on the sharp claw. Then the monster's friend came to save AT. Hyeon Choi held its wings and landed on the ground, but the scream was still very uncomfortable. She directly threw the thing in her hand away, calling the state window. But the stats were not as high as she thought, also suspecting if there were fewer than locusts. But then had to be surprised. She looked up and saw another gang flying Vush. As expected, Hyeon Choi started her body ready. Her spirit was also very excited to go and destroy them. Suddenly there was a very large strange object flying behind her, making her surprised again. Then forcefully pulled ATO and threw ATI to the side. Other mantises came, but still had to quickly dodge the things flying towards her. While running and looking up at the sky, Hyeon Choi saw AT shooting down from above. This monster herd seemed to have been upgraded, so they shadow a series of large rocks, and Ada was also destroyed by these things flying up. Each one was being pierced by the rocks flying up. Hyeon Choi could only stand and look at the scene in front of her, pitting her prey. Very angrily she looked at the person behind and asked who AT was. When she realized AT was Kim Dongju, she was told that AT was a mess. She shouted loudly, asking why he was blocking her way, then was stopped because she was too noisy. Choi boldly declared war on them. Come on, you damn bastards. He was also annoyed, saying that she wanted others to find out that she was level C so she could be thrown in jail. Hyeon Choi also confirmed that she knew. Looking UV at the monsters she destroyed, Dongju was also horrified to learn that she had reached level C, but she said she did not know this gang was level B. He helplessly advised her that she should better meet a teacher to relearn. Then there was a secret deal to hide that she was very strong, but Hyeon Choi still did not understand. When she heard Kim Dongju say that the police officer just now was very annoying, she asked what she had to do. He told her to pretend to be level C, because this dungeon would soon disappear when he entered here. Then his sister would also follow in. Hyeon Choi could not believe that AT would take 3 days. Not knowing how to handle these things. He also knew the reason why she wanted to cheer Nara on during the test day. Kim Dongju praised that Nara could do well, then gave something to Hyeon Choi to wipe herself clean. She took a tea in a very annoyed state. He could not believe that Song Kang asked about Hyeon Choi, but she did not know what was going on. Kim Dongju wanted to know exactly what she had done when he heard the statement that she had defended herself once. She told the sister to Rai that her boyfriend had abandoned her in the dungeon. She wondered when she saw the mantises standing still, what is wrong? Also told him that she had taken care of him. When asked if anyone knew about this case, Hyeon Choi confirmed that only she knew. Kim Dongju was angry that she was so proud, but she reminded him of the fact that he liked her. He vehemently denied this like, the reason was to lie to his sister to find the hidden dungeon. Kim Yeon seemed to have heard everything, asking about the self-defense hidden dungeon. Hand grabbed Kim Dongju's face. After that, AT was a shocking beating, making Hyeon have to dodge. As Yeon's expression darkened. Just now was a punch that thrashed her younger brother. Kim Dongju also raised his head in helplessness. Are you scared? Koi said with an eerie smile. At this time, Kim Yeon asked Hyeon Koi about the thing her brother said just now, and wanted her to explain everything. The Sephitori in the past, in front of the Waejin Guild. The reporters were wanting to interview and take pictures of this gang's leader. Being surrounded by reporters was the hunter Cho-i Hyeon, the first Korean to clear the hidden dungeon. They asked him how he found AT. These people really wanted him to reveal to the public what was in the dungeon and why AT appeared. No one knew. At this time someone was trying to squeeze through the crowded crowd. AT was Kim Yeon. She was standing there with a very gloomy face, also very resentful, and shouted loudly, calling Cho-i Hyeon, making the people who were hunting for news also surprised when they heard her voice. She shouted and asked if he really killed them. They were now on the defensive. A strong wind blew, wanting to sweep away the whole swarm. Just for those stupid items. Cho-i Hyeon was still calmly walking. Hearing Kim Yeon's words, his eyes suddenly stopped, but then confirmed with her because he saw that AT was natural. She rushed to Cho-i Hyeon very quickly with a punch, together with a cold face saying, "Then you will die. You bastard." Kim Yeon's fist was close to his face. After that, there was only a large source of power, scattering the ground. The reporters also competed to run away because the two levels were fighting nearby was very dangerous. After the fist of anger, and she sat on top of him. Koi stood in the center, eliminating each one. But Cho-i Hyeon was also surprised when the blow did not hit him. His expression at this time showed that death in the dungeon only told one truth, that the weak did not deserve to live. Kim Yeon stubbornly said that he could save everyone. She asked while shedding tears, was the reason that she left the Hwaean Guild. Cho-i Hyeon turned a blind eye, letting her think what she wanted. AT was just like that. Returning to reality, Dongjun was still being forced to the ground by his sister, but Kim Yeon still wanted to hear Hyeon Choi explain. While she was still asking why she was going to find the dungeon with her brother, Hyeon Choi was concerned that Kim Dongju was being overwhelmed. But in her head, she was constantly wondering if levels also had different powers. Kim Yeon continued to say, and that, what was different from killing people? At this time, Hyeon Choi also realized the reason why he was wary of his sister, but still retorted when she was considered a murderer. Then she asked back if AT was not normal to die in the dungeon. But she was still thinking about the attitude of a levels who had fought for many years. This is really fun, so the feeling of becoming strong is so joyful. Looking at Kim Yeon, she also did not understand why she was so sensitive, but then asked her, there must be a reason why they died in the dungeon. But in her head, she was still guessing that AT was all because someone died. Her eyes were very sharp, asking if IT was true. Kim Dongju was being suppressed, but still did not understand why she was provoking and how she would deal with her sister. He was also scared when he saw Ms. Yeon gloomily ask if Hyeon Choi did not complain. Hearing that Kim Yeon wanted to deal with Hyeon Choi right here, then her younger brother also panicked, realizing that his sister had been provoked to be crazy. And Hyeon Choi heard that, continued to provoke her to come and deal with her. Hearing this sentence, Dongju's sister had become really serious. She was very curious how strong this person was. Suddenly, the ground was cracking. More. I want to destroy more. Kim Yeon was also sinking into the hole. Then was surprised to realize this was, and doubtfully realized that AT was the hole. Her sister was very angry when she saw that her brother dared to run away. Nearby, there was also a crack in the ground with Kim Dongju's voice. Sister, let us just chill in life. He was still continuing to say that she was sitting on him was too embarrassing. Hyeon Choi saw him rising up and was wide-eyed in surprise. Kim Dongju immediately told her to shut up because she was said to be like waking up from the grave. Then told her not to provoke his sister because she looked like a crazy woman. Hyeon Choi turned around and bit his hand very painfully when he dared to say she was crazy. The two were still arguing. Then Kim Yeon spoke up, wanting her younger brother to stay away from that woman. Choi jumped up high with all her strength. Then again confirmed that she was crazier than herself when she did not care about other people's lives and went to find the hidden dungeon. After that, Kim Yeon frowned, afraid that Hyeon Choi would use her younger brother for other purposes. Kim Dongju wanted his sister to listen to him when he was the one who asked her If they found items in the hidden dungeon, they would become stronger. Her sister gently wanted her younger brother not to do that because the hidden dungeon was just an illusion. Then yelled, reminding her younger brother that many people had sacrificed for that nameless item, and wanted Kim Dongju to wake up while there were many other ways to become stronger. He confessed that she had helped him become this strong. Hyeon Koi stood to the side also wondering if there was another way to increase stats that was more important. She realized that he was not levels as Nara said. Something was coming closer, making her wide-eyed in surprise. Then rushed down quickly with a fist full of pressure. Go meet your ancestors. A2 was Kim Yeon swinging her sword straight at the place where Hyeon Choi was standing. After that, she also vomited blood and flew backwards. Kim Dongju was also very surprised when his sister hit Hyeon Choi, but he could only watch her fall down and call her name. Hyeon Choi. Kim Yeon despised that she was a level C and dared to show off because there was no guarantee inside the dungeon. On the outside of the hidden dungeon, Nam Yeon was standing there sweating profusely. A2 was because Song Hye-kyung's expression was very gloomy. She could not breathe, not knowing when she would be allowed to go inside. A staff ran Drew V and called, Officer Song Hye-kyung. Koi punched the ground hard, causing the mantises to be blown away in all directions. She turned back with a serious face when she heard the announcement that there was a problem with a request for permission to enter the dungeon. Inside the dungeon, Kim Dongju was still surprised to see Hyeon Choi being hit and flying away. Then she spurted plasma and fell down. Then he yelled again, calling, Hyeon Choi. Her sister hated her arrogant attitude right in the dungeon. Kim Dongju caught her, scolding his sister for being crazy, but his sister said she was lenient so she did not die. He felt it was ridiculous because she was level A so she could resist, but if she was level C, she would have died. Then looked Zhu Va at Hyeon Choi unconscious and her head was still bleeding. Seeing that she was seriously injured, he wanted to treat her immediately. Kim Yeon stood to the side urging Kim Dongju to continue to another dungeon, but he was confused asking what about her. Koi has passed through the land of eternity. All the monsters in the dungeon have been eliminated. Record time UV 634 hours. But his sister said harsh words about her and the reason why Hyeon Choi entered the dungeon. Kim Dongju was shocked when his sister said these words. When he was retorted by his younger brother for saying too much, then Kim Yeon retorted that AT was the truth, then used a soft but tight approach with her younger brother, saying that she would give him anything he wanted. Kim Dongju was very guilty when he heard many sentences. I was the one who helped you get to where you are today. He also replied that he knew because that was the reason why his sister left Waejin. Sefi Tarai of 12 years ago, the first dungeon crack in Korea happened. The government could not respond in time, leading to many casualties. Among them were Kim Dongju's parents, and sister Kim Yeon reluctantly became the head of the family. At his parents' funeral, he asked what the two siblings should do now. But his sister hesitated. Dongju knew she was too doomed to bear that pain. Koi slumped to the ground in exhaustion, because she was only 16 years old at that time. After that day the world began to change rapidly around the awakened. And then sister Kim Yeon became famous. Also many reporters wanted to know about her information. The news also reported that she was the 4th levels, but also wondered which guild Kim Yeo would join first. Everyone's attention had changed direction. They believed AT was a miracle when they thought her younger brother awakened, and was also levels. Ada seemed like everyone liked that, a miracle sister-brother pair. Everything started from the sister and now it spread to the brother. In a football match when he was doomed, Kim Dongju quickly stole the ball from the other them. His teammates cheered enthusiastically, telling him to shoot into the goal. The opposing them's goalkeeper was still dazed, not understanding what was happening. Then the ball he shot pierced the net. After that, everyone was stunned when they saw the image of the ball. They were stunned when the ball was stuck on the wall, and then Kim Dongju also awakened, but he was level C. The system notified, "You have reached rank A." Koi tilted her head and looked at the door. Suddenly one day, he opened the door of his room in a hurry and asked his sister if she had left the Wajian guild, and wondering why she left the guild to join the Payak gang. Right then, Kim Yeon gave Kim Dongju something to eat, making him not know what AT was. Opening the box, he realized AT was mana stones but still did not understand what his sister gave him. His sister happily replied that red ma stones were very rare, eat them to increase stats, and told her younger brother to keep it a secret. Kim Dongju heard that and was surprised that he got this because his sister left it for him. Then she said AT was rare. She would try to get AT for her younger brother, but in return, hearing her tell him not to report his awakening until he reached levels, he was surprised. Dongju was very angry that his sister brought this for him, because he did not want to have to hide anymore. Hearing her younger brother say he wanted to do missions properly, she said that was the condition set by Payak. What is ADUV? Kim Dongju silently listened to his sister say the reason for this meant a stone from the Payak guild, and could not let anyone know he was leveling up so quickly. Then his sister happily said that this was an opportunity for him to become level S. So this was very good. Kim Dongju confirmed that he did not need this, wanting to do AT himself, and wanted to report the awakening immediately. His sister explained that because her younger brother was a hunter, she stopped him from reporting because AT was very dangerous, which could lead to losing everything because he was too weak. Kim Yeon thought that was the reason why their mother and father died, because they were too weak. She reminded her younger brother that if he did not want to die, he had to be stronger, and she would ensure that. Then his sister also asked if he had understood. After that, Dongju agreed to listen to his sister because of the things he could do right now. Suddenly, a mouthful of fresh blood poured out from someone. Kim Dongju had eaten that item and was now trembling and vomiting blood. It must be, I have been in here for too long. Seeing her younger brother in pain and collapsing, the sister stretched out her hand, then knelt down and stroked her younger brother's face. The two sisters were staring at each other's faces at this time. The system reported that Dongju had reached level B. The stats about strength were increasing very quickly. Seeing this, Kim Yeon smiled gently, then hugged her younger brother tightly. Seeing that this was too good, now she just needed Dongju to become stronger. He shed tears and told himself that he needed to become stronger or he would be nothing, very painfully thinking that he would handle this matter, otherwise he would be stuck in place. After Kim Dongju recalled the past, his sister was very happy that her brother had understood and wanted him to leave Hyeon Choi behind and follow her. He heard that and was silent, not saying anything. A mantis lay twitching on the ground. While her sister was stretching her muscles to prepare to fight the boss in the next dungeon, Dongju spoke up and asked if his sister knew why he was looking for the hidden dungeon. And Kim Yeon thought that Hyeon Choi had deceived her younger brother to make him think that IT would make him stronger. He wondered why his sister wanted him to be strong but stopped him from becoming stronger through the hidden dungeon, and she also inadvertently caused trouble with others. She said that that place was not the place for him to become stronger, but also because the sister could not bear to watch him rush to his death, because she always said that if Dongju was not strong, he would lose everything. AIT meant that the sister still thought her younger brother was weak. But now, he did not care about that anymore. No matter how strong Dongju was, his sister would still think he was weak. Kim Yeon heard her younger brother say and was stunned. Kim Dongju seriously said that if she continued like this, he asked her to stay away from him, whether he died or not. Hearing that, his sister also picked up her sword and replied, and asked back if her younger brother really wanted to enter that dungeon. Choi did not hesitate to step on its head as revenge, and Kim Dongju firmly confirmed, saying that he would tell her when he came outside. At this time, Kim Yeon swung her sword, preparing to rush towards her younger brother. Kim Dongju sat there looking at his sister rushing towards him. His sister asked her younger brother if he did not mind dying here. Anyway, the result was the same. He used his power and said that he would not die. After that, there were a bunch of large stones rising up, shooting upwards. A2 was shooting straight towards Kim Yeon. Seeing these things, she again said they were useless things. After that, she used her sword to break them all. Seeing her sister using her power like she had lost her mind, Dongju was thinking of ways to buy time. Hyeon Choi woke up and asked what he was buying time for. She smiled with satisfaction with her next goal, now to go and tear those bastards apart. When he said she needed the hunter Nam Yeon to heal, she said she did not need AT. But hearing her say that, he still felt, "He's okay." "You monkey," Hyeon Choi said, "now I can wake up." She happily thanked him for giving her a comfortable place and also asked about the angry sister, while Kim Yeon was still confused. But he still tried to ask how she was, not understanding why Hyeon Choi was completely healthy. And she stood up, stretching her muscles again, excitedly saying, "Okay, let us start again," and also swung her arm to reveal the ring. Hearing Kim Dongju call her, she also replied. He with a gloomy expression asked how much she had heard. Outside the dungeon, the argument grew louder and louder. How could you lock Hyeon Choi in there and close the gate? She confessed from the time his sister was crazy, but still had to admit that watching these two siblings was very entertaining. Dongju recalled the part where he said he did not care about needing to become stronger anymore. Plus the time he said that his life and death did not need his sister to care. He panicked realizing that then, From the beginning, Hyeon Koi had heard everything, making Dongju have to pray to God because he was extremely embarrassed. When he used his power to restrain his sister, Kim Yeon blocked the encirclement, but constantly remembered her instructions to her younger brother, as well as the reason why their parents died. Seeing Dongju trying to resist her, she was helpless that her younger brother did not understand. Kim Yeon really did not want her younger brother to suffer like her, but why the hell was he rebelling? She was even more angry that her younger brother had made the decision about his life and death. She is your girlfriend. You usually order her around, but in such dangerous situations, you abandon her. Looking at her younger brother protecting Hyeon Choi, Kim Yeon blamed her even more. How did Dongju become like this? While angrily unleashing her power, she thought that if this brat was going to die in some hidden dungeon, she would rather deal with her younger brother here right now, because Kim Yeon had decided that at least his body would still be intact. After those thoughts of her, there was a very large shock to the ground. Hearing someone's voice, Kim Yeon wondered if Dongju was screaming. Her sister was blaming herself for injuring her brother, but was still unsure because she could not see anything in the smoke. When the smoke had cleared, Yeon ran to Va to ask her younger brother what was wrong, but had to be stunned and stammered. You? Hyeon Chan put on an innocent face and said, if I had stayed to wait for Koi, we would all have died. You ran away too. Why are you criticizing me? Nara snapped back. What? Have you said everything? Hyeon Choi asked if she had entered inside, but Kim Yeon still did not understand what was happening. Hyeon Choi was still saying that she lured her in, but in Kim Yeon's head, she only cared about why she was still standing. Dongju's sister still could not understand why she was still okay after her blow. Wonder about Hyeon Koi's stats. Then Kim Yeon looked at her, but Hyeon Choi's level was not displayed, so she could not read anything. Her sister also could not believe she was levels like herself, but was still unsure about this power, still suspecting that Hyeon Choi used an item to be as strong as level A. Then her sister wondered why her younger brother lied awkwardly that she was level C. On Kim Dongju's side, he was telling Hyeon Koi to retreat, but she refused. Then his sister on the other side still thought her younger brother had his own reasons for lying. He was wanting her to step aside because this was his battle, but she refused and also doubted Dongju's good intentions. The other sister's face was seriously guessing that Hyeon Choi must have a reason, so she wanted to go find the hidden dungeon. On Dongju's side, he was very surprised, then saw Hyeon Koi teleport away first. Seeing the argument getting more serious, a friend stood up to stop them. That is right, those who are alive must continue to live. Seeing her running towards his sister, he panicked and called her name urgently. Hyeon Koi also replied, telling him not to stand there anymore. Quickly follow her. Her fist was about to get close to her face, but Kim Yeon was still thinking about the rank. Seeing Hyeon Koi rushing V, but this woman was still only concerned about her stats. But then she suddenly paused. She could not touch Kim Yeon at all. There was a large source of power stopping Hyeon Koi, making her very surprised. After that, she bounced backwards, in Kim Dongju's witness. Hyeon Koi was knocked far away with very large damage, cracking the ground, along with Dongju's call. She was exhausted because of the blow, wondering what that power was. Another woman mocked Nara, because you are both rank C, you seem so heartbroken. Huh. When she did not even realize Kim Yeon was attacking, feeling like something was grabbing her body from behind. Before she could regain her senses, she was hit again. When the power from the side sucked her down, she guessed that that woman could change the direction. Hyeon Choi felt that she could not breathe, also could not move at all, feeling like her whole spine was being pulled down. A large stone fell down. She felt like she was being pressed by a mountain on an object. Kim Yeon then spoke up, saying that she expected more from her. After that, she despised that Hyeon Choi was only like that. She was being suppressed in a way she could not escape, also having to listen to that woman's lessons. Nara was so angry that she turned around and argued with her. Are you saying that high-ranking people have the right to be arrogant? I can't stand you people anymore either. So she told Kim Yeon to be careful with her words. Hyeon Choi was trying to struggle, because of this damn thing. But her sister told her to lie still, but also forced herself then. On Hyeon Choi's side, she was being tortured to the marrow. Hearing her scream in pain, Kim Yeon said it was too late. Although she was exhausted, Hyeon Koi's body was constantly recovering. Seeing this scene, the sister also thought that quick recovery was her forte. Dongju kept calling Hyeon Koi's name, but was stopped by his sister from getting close to her. He was sure he would not change his mind, but his sister still would not let him help because doing so would see root her regeneration. Kim Yeon seriously said to her younger brother, forget about the hidden dungeon. After getting of here, I will expose everything you people have done. then she would let her live. Kim Dongju stood in front of his sister's words and hesitated. His sister said that her younger brother did not need to worry because she had helped him become stronger Zhu VP the past time. He again showed fear when he had to hear the sentence again. If Ada was not for me, you would have died a long time ago. Kim Hyeon continued to say that he was too weak Dongju and thought that he did not have the ability to defeat his sister. His expression at this time had become dazed. Finally, her younger brother spoke up and asked if she was done. On Hyeon Choi's side, she was being suppressed. Then at this time she laughed and said that she said AT was for his own good. She recalled the name Hyeon Chan saying he did everything for her. If IT was not for him, she would have died. The girl indifferently asked, so what if someone dies in the dungeon? Then again the sentence. You understand, right? Being tightly bound in memory, Hyeon Choi spoke up, wanting those who said this sentence to stop lying, because no one would believe this garbage. She said Kim Yeon only wanted to control others, and would be the last person to say those sentences. Kim Dongju was looking at her, saying to do what he wanted because he wanted to become stronger himself, but could not help but stammer. Ayin Koi with a gloomy face said she would help him because they were the same. Her eyes suddenly turned red, and she radiated murderous intent, wanting him to look at her to know what they really needed to do. In the hidden dungeon at this time, there were two more people, Song Ik-hung and Nam Yeon, entering inside to search for the other three. Nam Yeon was very excited to tell that Kim Dongju was very cool just now when he ran straight in to save Hyeon Choi. The officer going with her also nodded in agreement. The hunter also guessed that her guild would be noisy because Kim Dongju was very popular with the girls, and Song Ik-hung also thought so. On this side, Hyeon Chan stood smirking without feeling any remorse. Suddenly Nam Yeon's eyes noticed something. When these two people still did not know why the sky was so red, while AT was still normal just now. Nam Yeon was scared when she guessed that the dungeon was about to shatter. The officer also confirmed that and they had to quickly complete the dungeon. On the side of the three people at this time, the ground was shaking very violently. Hyeon Cho was trying her best to struggle while being suppressed by Kim Yeon's move. Kim Dongju spoke up, stopping her from straining anymore because she could die. His sister did not know what she wanted to do because Hyeon Choi's condition was not good. Suddenly Kim Yeon's expression became very surprised. She was using the ultimate roar to create a very large power. The sister also felt uncomfortable listening to this high-pitched sound, feeling like the roar of a monster sharpening its claws on its throat. After a while, he called "Oh, Nara." Hyeon Choi was still continuing to shout. The two sisters had to cover their ears when they heard this terrible scream. Kim Dongju was very confused when Ayan was now stronger than she was at the black market. And before entering the dungeon, she was not as strong as this. He did not expect her to increase her stats so quickly. Suddenly Kim Yeon unexpectedly looked up at the sky. She did not expect Hyeon Choi to be able to attract the monster herd with just one roar. This woman thought it was a waste for her to die. If it was not for her younger brother's matter, they would have become good friends. And not only that, too many monsters were coming. Looking at this number, Kim Yeon guessed that she wanted to use this gang to attack her to escape. After that, she despised these level C monsters, thinking she would have to find the boss again. What if we abandon you this time? She was shocked and asked back. What? Looking UV at Hyeon still roaring. Then this woman guessed that she was impatient, so she used this monster gang. Then again felt AT was okay because she could hunt them to her heart's kin 10. The eye monsters were all rushing towards one side. Noticing that their wings were glowing, Kim Yeon was ready when she guessed that this was their weapon. The eye monsters finally fired. Ada fired the crazy blows at one place, while they were still firing wildly. Then Kim Yeon rushed up excitedly when she had not had a battle like this for a long time. Thought they would shoot towards her. But after that, her expression was very surprised. Nara's face began to change upon hearing Hyeon Chan's threats. Do you think a rank C like you can escape this rank B dungeon alone? She hesitated and replied. Hyeon Chan. Her steps also stopped because of a time. Kim Yeon thought if these monsters' eyes were for show or what, that they could not see her. The monsters' attacks brushed past this woman and attacked straight at the place where Hyeon Choi was trapped. Kim Yeon was very panicked when their attacked another place in her witness. This sister still could not believe it. When Hyeon Choi used her own body to lure them, she was still roaring madly. The monsters' attacks were constantly firing at Hyeon Choi's place. AT created strong aftershocks that scattered the ground. He patted her shoulder and asked, "Why are you trembling?" Kim Yeon saw this and thought that she could escape from her move in this way. But she would also be injured. Hyeon's body was very painful, wanting to struggle. The attack from the monsters had seriously injured her body. and constantly screaming in pain. Kim Yeon knew that she had a regenerating body, but why did not she feel pain? Wondering what she had gone through to have to make the decision to lure the monsters towards herself like this. But this woman was still sure that she could not break her move. Even if the number was large, they were only level C. After that had to be wide-eyed in surprise and ask, "What is that?" and thought she had guessed wrong. When flesh and bones were being destroyed, Hyeon Choi felt very painful at this time. But this was still not enough. What I mean is, it's better for both sides if something like that does not happen. Because with this much power, she could not do anything. She bitterly cursed the useless monsters in her head, then ordered them to attack harder. Right now, the monsters had identified the target to control. Their attacks on her seemed to have become stronger. Hyeon Choi's eyes became scary at this moment. After that, a huge source of power poured down on the place where Hyeon Choi was lying. Seeing these attacks, Kim Yeon was also paying attention to the situation on her side at this time. She did not expect their attacks to have become stronger. To put it bluntly, it's because Choi fell behind. The system said that the one-eyed angel, level A, was observing. Seeing that AT was level A, Kim Dongju's sister could not believe AT suddenly leveled up. Suddenly, a cloud of dust covered an area. Hyeon Choi with murderous intent stepped off from the dust. Although she was very battered, she immediately rushed towards Kim Yeon, who was standing. She got close to her face and said, "Because of you, I thought I was going to die." Although she was still suspecting that she helped the one-eyed angel level up, Kim Yeon still spoke up and asked, "Who are you after all?" Hyeon Choi just smiled and said she did not know anything, but she was sure. When she heard her say she had to die today, this woman also retorted when a levels could withstand this attack. The arrows that looked very powerful were rushing very quickly to one place. Before he could finish speaking, a loud explosion came from inside the dungeon. The monster's attacks had seriously injured both of them. Kim Dongju widened his eyes and was stunned for a moment. He stood there blankly and questioned what the hell was happening. The angels were rushing UV quickly. Seeing his sister and Hyeon Choi fighting, he vaguely thought his sister was being overwhelmed. Hyeon Choi was madly launching attacks, and Kim Yeon was trying to resist. He did not expect that because of Hyeon Choi. At this time, the monster angels were launching attacks towards the two of them. Seeing his sister painfully enduring the attacks, Kim Dongju was shocked. No way. She used her own body as bait to lure the monsters to attack. Hyeon Choi with murderous eyes was preparing to swing her fist. His mind was in a mess. Was this how humans fought? Hyeon Choi punched Kim Yeon very hard. Hyeon Chan and Nara blankly turned their heads to look. Kim Yeon was punched and flew far away. She closed her eyes and painfully endured the blow. Hyeon Choi excitedly jumped up and rushed forward. She showed a beastly look with a crazy laugh, then launched a series of punches towards Kim Yeon. Kim Yeon bitterly endured. "Damn this bitch." Then suddenly Hyeon Choi's arm was severed from her body. Along with that, her body was being split in half. She absent-mindedly spat a mouthful of blood. Her body was hovering at this time, and Kim Yeon saw this scene and could not help but be secretly happy. A pair of legs emerged from the hazy smoke. "What? AT still the same as before?" "Huh." She smiled excitedly. "I took care of AT." Hyeon Choi suddenly fell silent. Her excited face looked at Kim Yeon and shouted, "Looks like I have not unleashed all my strength yet," making her speechless. Suddenly Hyeon Choi madly absorbed power. Seeing that, Kim Yeon was shocked. The level angel seemed to sense something painful and screamed. Kim Yeon saw this scene and could not help but grit her teeth anxiously. "Damn I lowered my guard. She can still use skills in that state." She swung her sword to block the attack in vain. "Damn then ATZUVA. Kim Yeon angrily cursed inwardly. Usually I would enjoy killing, but like this, is there a difference from being mocked? Hyeon Choi's body had recovered at some point without anyone knowing, then spoke up and challenged. "You have been waiting for a long time, right?" Kim Yeon, when she realized, turned back in shock and thought, even injuries like this can be recovered. "Long time no see." Choi smoothed her hair and gave an extremely friendly smile. Hyeon Choi's eyes widened with a savage smile, swinging her hand to respond. Then blood splattered. "Oh." She cursed, "This monster bitch." Each drop of blood flowed down, forming small puddles. It seemed that Kim Yeon could no longer resist. Her body was full of injuries, letting the attacks rise up. She bitterly thought, "Unbelievable. She is hiding to attack me." She frowned in contempt. "You are really a timid little one." Hyeon Choi suddenly appeared and spoke up, asking, "You are still alive, right?" Kim Yeon was exhausted, sighing and thinking, "Crazy. What is she after all?" She smirked and praised. Indeed, 8 is worthy of being a level S body. Hyeon-koi's body was gradually recovering and said, being hit so much and still not dying. Kim Yeon curled her lips into a contemptuous smile. Look at yourself before talking about others. And wondered, when will you die after all? Hyeon-chan could not believe his eyes. Hyeon-choi. Hyeon-koi showed a thoughtful expression. Her body gradually recovered as before. Laughing contemptuously. How could humans not die? She snapped. I have met your ancestors once. You know, Kim Yeon suddenly realized, moving her lips to say, so AT's immortality. That is right. Although very rare, there are items related to immortality. Although they are limited in the number of uses, or can only be used once. Hyeon-choi excitedly replied. Really? In which dungeon? She lowered her face and inquired. But they are used to avoid death. Do you know? Then explained. Even if you do not die, not everyone is willing to risk their lives like you, unless you are completely insane. She uncomfortably replied. So what? Kim Yeon concluded the issue. In short, you are too dangerous to be around my brother. But her body could not move at this time. Hyeon-choi calmly replied. Such a close sisterhood. Huh, thanks to you. I am sure Kim Dongju will never have a lover. I do not care about that, she said in a low voice. The problem is because of you. Dongju's life is in danger. She helplessly thought. I can't even lift my hand. Now. The only thing I can do. Suddenly Kim Yeon's hand created a ball. What do you mean long time no see? What the hell are you talking about? Wait. No way. The ball was accumulating energy that was growing larger. She firmly. Okay. Just die here and now. The ground seemed to be shaking. Kim Yeon glared and ordered. Kim Dongju. Quickly get away from me. The scene of the three people became tense. I do not intend to drag you to die together. Kim Dongju frantically shouted. Sister. Do not. Your body can't handle AT. Hyeon-choi faintly said. AT's enough to pretend like that. Look. You can't even lift your hand. The angels were watching the situation. She mockingly said. Oh well. AT is not my BD nut either. Hyeon-choi indifferently declared. This time I will really kill you. Then she jumped up. Her face at this time was like a beast. How could she survive of there? She rushed quickly to Kim Yeon. The angels kept pointing their attacks down. The place Kim Yeon was standing was being destroyed. The ball had accumulated enough energy. She secretly calculated. A gravity ball can erase its own existence. No matter what, she said desperately. I really do not want to use this skill. But if she does not die, then I have no other choice. Kim Yeon loudly challenged. Come here, you crazy one. I will erase all your existence with this. Suddenly her arm throbbed. She gritted her teeth to endure the pain. But she was still firm. My injuries are too serious. The risk is indeed high. Her arm was trembling. Kim Yeon struggled to raise the ball high. The angels were attracted by that dazzling light. Her heart was determined. Anyway, she would die. But even so, she had to pull her down with her. Narakaldo. Hyeon-choi. In confusion. The angels seemed to sense that something bad was about to happen. Hyeon-choi was attracted and looked up. She opened her eyes full of interest. You want to suck everything into that. The skill is also interesting. The angels were gradually being sucked in. Kim Yeon wanted to pull everything into the ball of infinite convergence. Hyeon-choi ran while laughing mockingly. Are not you overdoing AT? If AT goes on like this, won't you also die? Kim Yeon smirked confidently and replied. Okay. Anyway, I am going to die. So I have to leave this special gift for the one who does not die. She ran to gain momentum and laughed loudly. Haha. Really? She jumped up high. Then let me see. AT's time to unwrap the gift. Hyeon-koi said excitedly. Haha. So excited. Hyeon-chan immediately switched to acting mutt and ran to hug Choi. You are really still alive. Kim Yeon's face showed discomfort as she cursed. This crazy woman. Why are you excited? Keep laughing while you can still leave. She made up her mind to eliminate. Soon, I will see how to rut you without leaving a single piece. Someone's hand was typing on the keyboard. The brown-haired girl was intently looking at the computer screen. Saying loudly, what is going on? Her face was confused. This should only be a level B dungeon. But why is the level of its magic exceeding level A? She fumbled for her phone. No, this matter will be investigated later. At this rate the dungeon will explode. She hurriedly picked up the machine and said, Hello, is this the dungeon support them headquarters? I request an immediate emergency evacuation order. Hurry. At this time, a large ball appeared. AT formed a large black hole that seemed to destroy everything. Kim Dongju recognized that. I am sorry for not being able to save you. But he was horrified and widened his eyes. The dungeon is. AT was gradually cracking. A large hole formed. He stood there blankly in panic. AT can't withstand her magic. At this time, Namyeon and Ikang were running quickly. Ikang thought to herself, on the way, I saw something strange. The mana inside this dungeon is so stuffy that AT's hard to breathe. She glanced at the angels, and in the sky. The monsters were rushing in the same direction as if they were being attracted by something. She ruled over the thought, and this is only a level B dungeon. Except for the boss, the remaining monsters should only be at level C. Her steps gradually slowed down and thought, but my level assessment ability can't see through their level. She wondered, could it be that the 2 levels hunters entered before us? But there has never been such a case before. Or could it be that this dungeon was originally strange? Kyung suddenly stopped. What the hell? Before her eyes was a life and death battle. She was confused. What is going on? For everyone else, I really had no other choice. Looking at Hyeon Choi smiling slyly. She wondered, how can Hyeon Choi, a level C hunter? Kim Yeon was concentrating on the ball. She wondered. Again, facing Kim Yeon, Kang questioned, could it be that she is a high-level ranker who has not registered yet? She gritted her teeth and thought awkwardly. The problem is I need to catch Hyeon Choi immediately. But the dungeon is currently unstable because of the magical collision between those two. Kang decided, if it continues like this, the dungeon will explode and countless people will die. I have to stop them. She raised her hand determinedly, even if I die. Kim Yeon was startled and turned around. He recognized her and shouted in panic, Officer Song-ae come. Kim Yeon widened her eyes and stopped. Hey, wait, this matter has gone too far. Kang moved her lips to say, Hunter Kim Yeon, Kim Dongju, and Hyeon Choi. All 3 of you are destroying the dungeon with your mana. Koi obediently replied, I know. I understand. Hyeon Chan, he smirked smugly. I knew she would believe Ata wholeheartedly. Her hand emitted the light of mana. She made up her mind. I will conduct a forced downgrade for all 3 of you to level C. Kang proceeded with the downgrade. Kim Yeon felt her power being suppressed. Hyeon Choi also became bewildered. Kim Yeon was startled and sensed something. Suddenly Kim Yeon's injury became more severe due to the pressure of the downgrade. She cried in pain. She regained her senses and wondered, why am I suddenly injured? Her eyes noticed the system panel being displayed. Proceeding with the downgrade from levels to level C, she was confused. Downgrade. She gradually became confused. That skill is, he said in a sweet voice. Thank you. I knew someone as kind as you would understand me. The stream of power was gradually weakening. Hyeon Ko intently observed this change, and Kim Yeon was gradually falling down. Her hair was fluttering. Then she rolled Jude and fainted on the spot. The downgrade skill was unique to Song-ae Kang. Ada forcibly downgraded the target, limiting power and mana. This was the last resort only to be used when the situation was out of control, and the user had to suffer severe side effects. Kang breathed heavily, looking at the system panel showing a state of power that could not be restored for a year. She hugged her chest and frowned, thinking, the money in the dungeon has stabilized. Thank God. But her internal organs were injured and her mana circle was exhausted. She was helpless. To be honest, being alive is already a miracle. Kang pleaded, Hunter Nam Yeon, please heal Kim Yeon. Because of my skill, her body has been completely weakened. Nam Yeon replied in confusion. Yes. She cautiously approached. Worried. Is she okay? Looking from afar, Ada seems like she is seriously injured. She was stunned. Oh my God. Koi. She widened her eyes and looked at him. She panicked. Her situation is too critical. Her whole body has stab wounds. Her limbs are almost severed, and her lungs and heart are injured. Nam Yeon quickly covered her mouth. Secretly observing, a normal hunter should have died. Now she has a level C body. She raised the staff and used magic. Her face showed concern as she tried to heal. Healing all the internal injuries will take time. For now, I have to give her emergency treatment. Kim Yeon's body was being recovered. Nam Yeon judged, recovery speed is very fast. If it continues, I can heal her internal organs. Suddenly her eyes glanced at Hyeon Choi. Nam Yeon observed and thought to herself, that girl is the one who fought with Ms. Kim Yeon earlier. Looking at Hyeon Choi observing the healing ability, she wondered, why is she the only one who is not injured? She cautiously thought, what is she doing there? Then spoke up and blamed, hey, it's because of you that she was injured. Quickly leave here. Hyeon also began to feel a little scared. Hyeon Choi looked down with a somber face. Her face darkened, raised her foot to kick Kim Yeon and said sarcastically. Still breathing. Seeing Kim Yeon lying unconscious, Namyeon angrily shouted loudly, "No!" Suddenly something popped up from the ground. Hyeon Choi's expression was still calm. She stomped her foot, causing a crack to appear and said, "Where did you disappear to?" She wondered. At's really unreasonable. Hyeon Choi questioned, "Why did you save her? Did not you always want to escape from your sister's shadow?" Kim Dongju was carrying his sister but did not respond. Thousands of questions appeared in his mind. Why are her clothes so torn? He handed his sister to Namyeon. "Hunter Namyeon, please take care of my sister," she replied softly. "Yes." Hyeon Choi glared. "So in the end you still chose her. Why?" She explained, "If your sister disappears, you will finally get the freedom you desire. Why save her?" Kim Dongju retorted, "Is not this the choice you want? Me standing by and watching my family be killed by others?" He loudly said, "I can't do that." She was surprised and analyzed. "Really? If so, you should have stood up right now." "Why now? I am trying to free Ryu from those shackles," he said with a strained voice. "What are you talking about?" Hyeon Choi asked a question. "Are not you tired of your current situation?" She looked at Kim Yeon and said, "Everyone always says, everyone does that because of you." She calmly replied, "But the worst thing is how you believe in that." But there are not any wounds on her body. Huh. The image of a sword being swung was being shown. The monster was slashed away. She confessed, "I only realized the truth after dying and killing again and again." She pondered deeply. "Freedom," she affirmed, "only appears when you step on someone's corpse." She said, "For sure, so I also want you to realize that. The freedom that I felt that day." She wanted him to realize that he was still being restrained by his sister. Breaking the shackles and his freedom would come. Hearing that, his face was wary. Her emotions were indescribable. "I understand. AT's very difficult at the beginning, but once you start doing things, AT will be much easier." Hyeon Choi walked away and said, "This is your last chance." She approached him and said, "Kim Dongju, you can do it." He looked at Choi from head to toe. She smiled slightly. "I will help you." He was silent and did not reply, and decisively said, "Sorry, but I can't do that," making her stunned. She blankly said, "What?" He said sadly, "I know that I have no right to say that. Well, from the beginning I was just standing outside watching until you solved it." Kim Dongju expressed his feelings. "To be honest, if I helped, then that would also mean that I agreed with your decision. So I could not act, although I do not understand why both you and my sister are so stubborn." He seriously expressed his point of view. "But when I think about the fact that my sister will really leave, then I can't sit still, even if she is a fierce gorilla. She is still my family." Hyeon Choi disappointedly replied, "Is that so? Then all the things I did were for nothing." She angrily scolded him. "So what? Does everything get better if you suddenly change your mind?" He used a stone wall and said, "Then I will stop you." Something's wrong. The tip of AT was pointing towards her. AT was gradually getting close to her. Around the two people were surrounded by sharp stone spikes. He glared and warned, "I will protect my family." She mocked, "Family? That is ridiculous. Who is the one who has only been standing there?" Kim Dongju's eyes were still firm. "Although we are both level C, I still have more combat experience than you, so at least I can handle you." She impatiently rushed up and said, "Say what you want." She reminded, "Do not forget that your sister was thrashed by me." Hyeon Choi scoffed, "Let us try AT. Acting like a no AT all just because you are a higher level." Suddenly there was a loud shout, "Stop!" attracting the attention of the two people. Namyeon, with tears in her eyes, used all her strength to shout, "Please do not fight. If IT continues like this, Hunter Kim Yeon will really die." Suddenly, another hand was placed on Choi's shoulder. She helplessly threatened, "If she dies, I won't forgive either of you. Do you understand what I am saying?" She noisily blamed and ordered, "Put her down for me. I have to treat her. If you have to fight, then do it later," making him confused and speechless. Kim Dongju put his sister down. She continued to scold him in the face. "But are you really sober? Your sister is in critical condition and you still want to fight. Looking at her like this and you have no feeling. Has your brain been swallowed by adrenaline so you can't think?" She turned to blame Hyeon Choi. "And why are you always so uncomfortable? Learn to calm down and help me," making both of them turn pale. Hyeon Choi was stunned when she was scolded and blankly wondered, Dongju can't refute even a word. Why? Well, Kim Dongju continued to be taught a lesson, making him helpless and only knowing to apologize. She came up with an idea. So he is that kind of person. She poked her finger on his shoulder and called, "Hey, Kim Dongju." He immediately replied, "What?" She calmly said, "Apologize to me." "You," making him annoyed and scolding. "Are you crazy? What are you saying?" She innocently said, "Huh. Do not you not refute girls. Just apologize and I will let you go." A Kong slowly approached, while Kim Dongju was still arguing. "You should apologize," making Nam Yun annoyed. "Quiet. I have to concentrate on treating." A Kong came closer and asked about the situation. "Hunter Nam Yun. How is Hunter Kim Yun?" Nam Yun raised her head and reported, yes. She has passed the critical period." And cared, "Are you okay, officer?" The teammate gleefully joined the conversation. "Koi. Thank you for understanding. It's great that you came back safely." She struggled to reply, "I've lied. But it's because of me that Hunter Kim." Nam Yun comforted. "The situation was critical at that time. Have you seen if the dungeon has stabilized?" Akung looked at the situation but could not say anything in advance because she had only stabilized the Mane inside, so she had to quickly complete the raid. Usually, outside help was needed, but inside there were 2 unstable levels hunters, so no one could be sent. Nam Yan seemed to understand. She continued, "That is right. We will complete the dungeon with 3 level C people and 1 level A person." Nam Yan panened. "But our level A does not belong to the attack system. Is this feasible?" Hyeon Choi and Kim Yan were blankly listening and arguing with each other. A Kong sighed. "We have to try our best." Kim Dongju stepped forward and said, "Let us go kill the boss now. My sister has taken care of most of the monsters. Even if I am level C, as long as I control my skills well, I can still sweep the dungeon." They were still discussing. Suddenly something behind them glowed. Hyeon Koi turned around and wondered, "What the hell?" She looked at the ball absorbing energy and calmly said, "Looks like AT's not Juvi yet." Kim Dongju turned around and asked, "Hyeon Choi, what are you standing there for? Now let us go take down the boss together." He shouted in horror, "Why has not that thing disappeared?" Looking at the ball that was growing larger, he confusedly thought, usually IT would disappear. Could it be that the moon eye here is too dense so AT's condensing? He turned to ask, "Has not she woken up yet?" Nam Yun replied, "Not yet." Kim Dongju frantically urged, "Then let us quickly leave here as much as possible. I am giving up on that move. If possible, quickly end the treatment." Akung worriedly asked, "Hunter Kim Dongju, can I help?" He replied, "No need. Do not worry about helping. Just stand outside." Akung was shocked. "What? You mean I should let you level C guys handle everything and leave?" Kim Dongju shouted loudly, "Damn A, this is your fault." He raised his hand and said, "Whatever, I will stop that thing before AT gets bigger." He used mana and ordered, "So just stand firm." Stone pillars rose from the ground. Koi laughed and asked, "You have not taken 80 down yet. Are you waiting for me?" He raised his hand high. Akung blankly watched. He was trying to control AT. She was surprised. "Is not AT too big?" He explained, "AIT has to be this big to be able to partially withstand that power." Suddenly Kim Dongju shouted loudly, "Hey Hein Koi," making her look blankly. He cared, "AT's very dangerous UV there. Come here." She replied, "Okay." She ran UV and praised, "You can also create that with level C. Nice." He helplessly said, "You are really a childish little one." Kim Dongju stomped his foot and said, "First of all," he erected a giant stone wall, making Akang startled, and said, "We have to erect a barrier." He prepared to gain momentum, and jumped onto the stone wall. To be safe, I made AT a little thicker. Now all I need to do is... "Thank you," Hainchan said to himself. "No way. I must be too sensitive." Looking at the ball emitting energy, he decided, carefully handle the center part. He raised the giant stone pillar to prepare to handle AT, and everything would be UV. Kim Dongju confidently said, "Okay, everything is ready." He shouted loudly, "Let us start." The stone pillar was rushing quickly towards the ball. The ball was creating a terrible suction. The stone pillar slammed into the ball, causing the surrounding area to crack. The cracks under the ground were constantly spreading. The stone pillar was firmly pinned down on the ball. He happily said, "Okay." Suddenly the wall he was standing on cracked, making him terrified. The teammate brazenly lied without feeling embarrassed. "The thought of leaving you behind made my feet unable to move. My heart was so heavy." Kim Dongju stammered and replied. Almost collapsed. Hyeon Koi asked in wonder, "Hey, what are you doing?" He was surprised. "Why are you up here?" AT's too reckless. She did not understand his intention. Cool, what cool? What are you doing? He explained. AT's nothing much. That is probably the black hole that my sister created in the process of using mana. He continued to say, but because she fainted, the mana lost control. So basically AT's just a mana ball without an owner. She calmly said, so your sister is the one who caused us trouble. The stone pillar seemed to be controlling AT well. Oh well. That stone is used to block the ma in the ground. Let us just consider AT a lightning rod. Hyeon Cho excitedly said, oh. Not bad. Kim Dongju guessed. Now we just need to wait for the mana to solidify and disappear completely. She was curious. Really? Can you believe AT? He happily replied. Yes. I have used this move to stop AT before. My sister's expression at that time was funny. She discovered. But wait. Why is AT glowing like that? He did not believe. What are you talking about? Glowing what? Then AT exploded in front of the two people. She laughed mockingly. Haha. Failed. And he fell into panic. What the hell? Kim Dongju turned down hopelessly and shouted loudly. Quickly wake her up. AT was useless. Hearing that, a Kang frantically called, Hunter Nam Yun. But she only smiled kindly as an answer. Hyeon Chan stood silently watching them leave. She cried, looking at Kim Yeon being treated, only knowing to pray helplessly. Nam Yeon placed her faith. Are we gonna die here? I believe in you. Dongju. He reassured. Do not give up. Let me try again. Hyeon Choi leaned against her hands and thought. Really chaotic, and he was still strenuously shouting loudly, do not cry, we won't die. Her eyes paid attention to the hole. Looking at AT. She said, AID feels a bit familiar. Hyeon Choi clapped her hands as if she had thought of something. AT's the big-eyed freaks this time. She crossed her arms and looked down and said, they are hiding down there. And there are so many more. Hyeon Choi calculated, this dungeon is really a gold mine. I can get a lot of stats there. Looking at the hole emitting power, the problem is, she was making a plan of choice. 1. Is to go straight to the boss again. But I do not know which one will come. 2. Is to stop that thing. Choi still had a smile on her face. She fell into silence. She called a name, Hey Kim Dongju, making him pay attention. She smiled and said, you should be grateful to me, you virgin level C. He got annoyed. What are you saying? Want me to prove AT? Hyeon Choi mocked. You want to show off that you are strong while you can't clean up the mess your sister left behind. Kim Dongju was furious. Then why do not you try AT? He suddenly sensed something and confusedly said, what are you doing? She gained momentum to jump in and said, what do you think? Her whole body fell down. Calmly saying, of course AT's to help your sister clean up this mess. The ball was still accumulating mana. Hyeon Choi instructed, after AT's UV, just follow me. She shot a glance at the ball. He still felt that there was something unusual about her. AIT must just be a feeling. Right? And thought that although AT was very small, AT was devouring everything around AT like a monster. Looking at Kim Yeon being treated with mana. She wondered, all just to protect her younger brother. She remembered Kim Dongju's words. Kim Dongju, I do not have anyone to protect, so there is no reason to be afraid. She closed her eyes and recalled the painful past. The younger brother that she loved said cruel words to her. I will leave this house. I am tired of calling you sister or family. She broke down. As the door gradually closed, she shed tragic tears, calling the name, Hyori. The people I love all leave me. Hyeon rushed to Viake and decided, but even so, I will still do AT. Her hand was gradually melting. She knew that although I know AT's all meaningless, so I can't accept your decision. AT was gradually being destroyed. She fell into thought, but at least, I felt like I was being listened to. After walking for a while, the Gipi rep arrived at the edge of the forest. Her excited face touched the ball. She smirked. Her body was gradually being destroyed. She shouted, damn AT hurts like hell. A mysterious ring appeared. That ring was emitting mana. She wore the ring on her hand. Her arm had a change. Her body was gradually disappearing in the light that was completely incinerating. The heat of the ball emitted was very large. Her feet were in direct contact with AT was blowing away the flesh on her skin with heat. A strange noise suddenly made the birds fly away in fear. Her whole body was submerged in a sea of fire. She screamed in pain. Her body gradually disappeared. The system warned that she could not die. The resurrection process was not complete. Looking at Ada being separated into parts, her body was reborn once again. The message appeared continuously. You cannot die until the resurrection process is complete. Kim Dongju and Ikung looked down. She spoke up, Hunter Kim Dongju. She asked in amazement, why did not she die? She observed in shock, is she still human? Kim Dongju glanced worriedly. Hyeon Koi's figure gradually appeared. An animal accidentally stepped on a dry branch on the ground. She turned around. Her face smiled brightly and said, mission complete. Ikung was surprised. Great, she really stopped it, and Kim Dongju covered his face helplessly. He shyly remind her to put on clothes. At's too distracting, Ikung replied. Okay, I will go. Hyeon Koi after putting on clothes did not forget to tease him. A total failure. But he chose his clothes well. He angrily scolded. Who are you calling a failure? Wanna die? She laughed happily, and Ikung could only be helpless. She eagerly said, well, let us continue. Ikung wondered. Huh. Go where? She punched the ground hard. Where else? Everything around was blown away. She said, we have to deal with the remaining ones. Kim Dongju saw this and said, Hyeon Choi, is this what you call? Ada was the C-rank boss. Deer Knuckle, a huge deer monster. A large explosion erupted. He shouted, clearing the way. Everyone was trying to reassure themselves. Everyone entered inside. Everyone was terrified when they saw the monsters in terrible numbers, except for Hyeon Koi. Kim Dongju's mouth was wide open, and she calmly looked at the monsters. Hyeon Chan hid behind a nearby tree and carefully observed. After grasping the situation, he informed his teammates. Everyone prepare, just do as usual. Koi will attract attention, and the rest of us will wait for an opportunity to attack. He turned to her and said, Koi, try to keep their attention. She nodded in agreement. Hyeon Chan turned his head to look at everyone. Okay. Then according to plan, Koi rushed out of the bushes at the speed of light. Her recklessness made her teammates panic. Wait, where is she going alone? Hey! Hyeon Choi. After reaching the open ground, Koi slammed her shield into the ground, then shouted loudly. A surge of power enveloped her. The north wind blew fiercely. A beam of light flew straight into the deer's eye, causing AT to writhe and scream in pain. Hyeon Chan stood in the bushes and cursed. Attracting attention is a bit too much. Have you lost your mind? Quickly lock onto Hyeon Koi. Everyone rushed one by one. Deer charged madly towards Choi. Hyeon Chan stood behind and did not forget to reassure everyone. AT's okay. AT's just a B-rank boss. Koi stood still with her shield in hand. Hyeon Chan constantly directed from behind. Just need Choi to tank well in front. As soon as the deer rushed at her, Koi immediately jumped into the air with all her strength. Hyeon Chan became frightened when facing the monster. The teammates looked up at Choi. Is she running away? The friend became hesitant when facing the monster. If she dodges like that, then... He screamed in panic. The deer charged madly forward. Ada used the sharp horn on its head to stab him. The two girls became terrified when they witnessed that scene. Hyeon Chan was now so scared that his face turned pale. Hyeon Choi finally landed right on top of the deer. She stood in front of her teammates with a gleeful expression. Ada must hurt a lot. Huh. Sorry, I was too scared so I accidentally dodged. Everyone understands. Right. Koi's meaningful words made Hyeon Chan sweat profusely. On this side, Hyeon Choi had climbed onto the deer's back. Ada was like a monster of control, charging wildly forward. Hyeon Chan and his teammates were thrown far away. He angrily shouted. Hyeon Choi, are you crazy? What the hell are you doing? She turned her head down to look at him and asked back. Doing what is doing what? Hyeon Chan ordered, stop fooling around and come down here quickly. She gave a wicked smile and said, fooling around. Do I look like I am fooling around? Everyone looked at her with fearful expressions. Hyeon Koi started controlling the monster from above. Now let us see who survives longer. The deer suddenly raised its two front legs, then jumped forward to attack everyone, who ran away in fear. After a while of running away from the deer's pursuit, Hyeon Chan's Gippy Rip sat panting non-stop. A teammate asked, what now? Hyeon Chan began to assign tasks. I will stand in the back and heal. You go tank. I also have some Bae-Dech attack skills. The girl worriedly replied. Wait, I have never tanked a boss before. Hyeon Chan shouted at her face. Is this the time to worry about that? If you do not do AT, we will all die. If you do not want to die, listen to me. I am the leader. I will support you from behind. Just need you to tank well. We will definitely escape from here. The Geeprip once again faced the monster. Hyeon Choi looked at them with a resentful gaze. Have you guys finished talking? Then let us start again. The whole Geeprip was ready to fight. Hyeon Chan still kept wondering, how can a C-rank control a rank boss? The deer charged towards where they were standing at the speed of light. Hyeon Chan shouted from behind, "Block it!" The reluctant tanker girl shouted loudly. She used her shield to block the monster. Hyeon Chan happily said from behind, "It is blocked." But she was hit by the deer, breaking her shield and dying instantly. She lay sprawled on the ground, blood splattering everywhere. Hyeon Chan began to feel extreme fear. Even Hyeon Choi could not believe it. What? This guy is so strong. After checking the deer monster's information, she was extremely surprised. Rank up. AT was originally rank B. The system notified. Buff status being blessed. She shouted in surprise. What is this? Is someone blessing AT? Is the parasitic ring due to the effect of the hidden item? I do not know. I will take down that bastard first and then think about AT. Deer went to knock Hyeon Chan away. He knelt down on the ground. Panting heavily, Hyeon Choi gently asked, "Do you still have the strength to fight?" He looked up and called her name, Koi. She quickly responded, "Yes." He speculated, looking at how easily she controlled that monster. She must have obtained an item from the hidden dungeon. Her change in personality is also due to Adia. Hyeon Chan suddenly apologized. I'm sorry, Koi. Startling her, he knelt on the ground and put on a regretful expression. Hyeon Koi seriously asked, "Sorry for what?" He honestly replied, "For abandoning you and running away. For closing the gate. For forcing you to understand me." Hyeon Choi kept asking him if there was anything else. Hyeon Chan closed his eyes and admitted, "Everything is my fault." Hyeon Choi continued to ask, "Hyeon Chan, that is exactly where the problem lies. Do you really not understand why I am angry?" He looked up in confusion. "What?" Hyeon Choi looked at him with gentle eyes. "There is only one reason." Hyeon Chan was so happy that tears fell. "Then can you tell me what AT is? Just tell me." Hyeon Choi suddenly changed her expression and revealed to him, "Your very existence is the problem, you son of a bitch." The hope in Hyeon Chan seemed to disappear completely. Blood suddenly spurted. Oh. The deer monster had crushed him with its foot. Hyeon Choi sat above and laughed heartily. Her eyes turned to Nara. Hyeon Choi quickly jumped down and started talking to her. "I almost forgot you were still alive." Huh. Nara. She trembled when facing Hyeon Choi. She asked, "Do you want me to spare you?" She hesitated and said, "Please spare me." While in the dungeon, Nara had spoken against Hyeon Chan's wrongdoing. "Hey, are you crazy? Hyeon Choi is still not oh." Remembering that moment, Hyeon Choi smiled with satisfaction. "Okay, then from now on, listen to me obediently." Nara nodded in agreement. "Of course," Hyeon Choi reminded her. "Because you were the only one who stopped them from closing the gate. You were able to survive. Do not forget that you still have some humanity." Nara replied as she walked. "Yeah. I understand." Hyeon Choi did not forget to instruct her. "One more thing. If you dare to speak nonsense," she said while gripping her sword tightly. Then she slashed decisively at the deer monster as a warning to Nara. In just a moment, the monster's body was split in half. Hyeon Choi smiled and asked Nara, "Understand?" She nodded in fear. Hyeon Choi put her arm around her shoulder and they left together. "Good. Now you and I are in the same boat. If you betray me after escaping from here, you are dead. Now let us go." "Oh right. We have to collect some magic stones." Nara forced a smile and replied, "Got AT." Outside, everyone was waiting for news from the teleportation gate. Hyeon Choi and Nara walked together. "This is the dungeon management them of the Hanshin Association. May I ask, what about the others?" Hyeon Choi decisively replied, "Oh, they are all dead." Nara told the management them in detail. "The thing is, the boss in the dungeon suddenly ranked up, so everyone risked their lives to protect us. And that is AT." Hyeon Choi could not help but laugh while listening to Nara. Nara quickly pointed at her and said, "Look, she is crying. We are a bit unstable mentally right now. We will leave the magic stones here and go in first." "Okay." A man stepped and questioned. 3 ranks died, and 2 C ranks survived and returned, and AT's in a B rank dungeon. Hyeon Choi. Shim Nara. Nara's face darkened in worry. Chairman An Baekdeok, Hyeon Chan's uncle, demanded the two of them, "Tell us everything that happened inside, without missing a single detail." Baekdeok angrily scolded. "What are you saying? Who cares if Deer Knuckle ranked up? Your entire job is to support the main damage dealers. Yet you can't even do that." Hyeon Choi yawned in boredom. Nara glared at her angrily and wondered. Koi is the one who eliminated everyone, so why is she so calm? Does she not realize that killing people in the dungeon could send both of us to jail? Bae-deok held his head in helplessness. Seriously, why did Hyeon-chan have to die? How can I talk to his father? The company is almost unsustainable. The glittering watch on his hand lit up. That made Hyeon-koi notice Aya. She began to say sarcastic words. You are broke, yet you are still using luxury brands. Huh. Bae-deok was startled and asked back. What are you saying? Hyeon-koi began to expose the truth. That suit is from one of the high-end brands. Right. And the car you drove here must be worth tens of millions. We risk our lives and only receive meager salaries, while you live comfortably here. Bae-deok glanced at the dungeon managers in embarrassment. What the hell is wrong with Choi now? Normally, she just stands behind Hyeon-chan, so scared that she does not dare to open her mouth, as if she is the one on trial. He shouted loudly. Anyway, you two will have to take responsibility for this. Do not even think about resting. Find a dungeon to raid tomorrow. Got AT. Nara ran up to Object. Chairman, that is too much. He still blamed the two of them. Shut up. Someone died. Be grateful that this is all you are getting. AT's been difficult enough to find hunters. Bae-deok became worried. We finally started to revive this association. But without Hyeon-chan, where do we find a replacement? Damn Koi. You should have died instead of your boyfriend. Even a C rank like you is better than. Hearing a strange noise, he craned his neck to look behind him. Then he was suddenly kicked in the groin by Hyeon-choi. He was in so much pain that his face turned purple. The managers also felt sympathetic for Bae-deok. Nara became flustered by this unsupportable action. Hyeon-koi stood laughing gleefully. That hit the spot. Bae-deok fell to the floor, gasping, "Someone help me." She looked at him and said, "Do not be such a stupid child. If you are short on money and hunters, why do not you go into the dungeon yourself? Wait, are you afraid of risking your life?" Bae-deok frowned and said, "Koi, are you crazy? Is this your real personality when Hyeon-chan is not around?" Hearing those words, Hyeon-koi laughed so hard that she bent Juvief. Koi is of her mind. Are you really Hyeon-chan's uncle? You even sound like him. Toxic families are really ingrained in the blood. Damn Ada feels so good. She sat down next to Bae-deok and continued. Yes, I'm crazy. Crazy enough to die in place of your precious nephew. He blankly asked back. What are you saying? Hyeon-koi said in a gentle voice. Exactly what I said. You idiot. And since the matter with Hyeon-chan is Zuvich, I do not want to talk about him anymore. By the way, I am quitting the association. Bae-deok hurriedly stopped her. No. You can't, if you leave the association. Before he could finish speaking, Hyeon-choi interrupted. You should have treated me better when you had the chance. Want another punch for the road? He shouted in fear. No way. Hyeon-choi continued. And one more thing. She threw a crumpled bill onto the ground right in front of Bae-deok. This is a little something for Hyeon-chan's funeral. Please send him off properly. That action made him feel extremely bitter. After handling everything, Hyeon-choi yawned and left. I am done here. Nara stood behind and kept saying. Thank you for everything. Wait, the chairman has not even woken up yet. Will he be okay? She then reassured Nara. He will be fine. There is nothing to worry about. Maybe. Scene changes to the apartment where Nara lives. Hyeon curiously asked, Hey, do you like Ruffy bands or something like that? Nara sat in a corner and replied, No, I just buy tea at a clothing store. She confided, Ada looks great. I wish I could buy something like that. Nara then said, Yeah. Well, you can buy a tea now. Right. Hyeon-koi sadly shared. Hyeon-chan did not like Ada. Nara blankly turned ahead and asked, What do you mean? He is dead? Hearing this, Hyeon-koi's mood became much more cheerful. Oh yeah. He is dead. Huh. And I am the one who killed him, she said while laughing crazily. Nara stared wide-eyed at her. This crazy bitch always freaks me out when she does that. Hey, sorry, but why did you suddenly want to stay at my house? You have your own house. Right. Hyeon-koi lay silently for a while. Then she smoothed her hair and said seductively, Nara, can I stay here for a while? You know, I used to live with Hyeon-chan, so I really do not want to go back there. Nara was too scared to refuse. She had to nod in agreement. Okay, but just for a while. Okay. Hyeon-koi sat up in joy. Really, you are the best. Nara sadly confided. By the way, Koi, I also left the association. I could not stay after all that happened. What about you? Have you targeted any association yet? Hyeon-koi still positively replied. No, Not yet. Nara panicked and asked. Huh. Then how are you going to pay rent and stuff? Hyeon Choi revealed. I have about 10 million won saved up. That should be enough to live on. Right. She became more and more confused as she listened. Wait, only 20 million. That is AT. Hyeon Chen used to brag that he paid the rent and living expenses for you. Hyeon Cho was also surprised by this statement. Huh. He only paid the deposit. The rest was always split 50 per 50. Nara held her head in exhaustion. I did not expect him to brag like that. Wait a minute. Does AD sound like she does not have any plans? What if she stays here forever? No way. That won't happen. Nara worriedly continued to ask. So what are you going to do now? Find a place to live or get a job? Hyeon Choi thought for a while and said, honestly, I do not want to do anything right now. I have achieved everything I wanted, so I do not really know what to do next. Nara sat blankly and questioned. Then what exactly did you achieve? Hyeon Choi replied excitedly. Hunt down and eliminate every single one of you. Nara just muttered. I knew she would say that. Nara smiled awkwardly and said, thank you for not eliminating me. Hyeon Choi sat and chuckled. That reaction is priceless. Just a moment later, that smile disappeared. Nara turned to ask, are you hungry? Hyeon Choi truthfully replied, I am hungry. Her friend then asked, now that I think about AT, we have not eaten anything all day. Do you have any ideas for what to eat? Chicken or jokbal? Hyeon Choi became hesitant. I do not know. Anything is fine. Hyeon Chan would not let me eat this late, saying AT would make me fat. Nara was extremely surprised by what she said. The fire of anger in her rose non-stop. AT's good that that bastard is of sight. Hyeon curiously asked, why are you suddenly going crazy? Nara stood up and asked back, are not you angry? Hyeon Choi answered innocently, you are the first person to get angry for me. Nara bluntly said, just ask anyone on the street, and they will all say that guy is crazy. Anyway, I will order something. Let us eat and rest. The more I think about AT, the angrier I get. How did he expect you to hold on with an empty stomach? Hyeon Choi actively invited her to eat jokbal together. Nara immediately agreed. That night, Nara was sound asleep. Only Hyeon Choi was lying awake. What I want to do? AT's been a while since I thought about that. First of all, I do not want to go into the dungeon anymore. I also do not want to join any more associations. I just want to rest. Doing some strange jobs and living comfortably sounds good. She gently closed her eyes, enjoying this peaceful moment. Suddenly, a sharp pain came. Hyeon Choi sat up. Then she hugged her stomach tightly in confusion. What the hell? There is something inside my stomach. Hyeon Choi sat as still as a statue. I feel like there is something in my stomach. She looked at the ring in fear. Is this the reason? Maybe it is better to take AT off now. A system notification suddenly appeared. Once the parasitic ring is worn, AT cannot be removed. Hyeon Choi sat silently, thinking, is this a binding item? Even so, I do not think a tie is impossible to remove a tie. Its name is strange too. I do not care. I am going to take a T off. She used all her strength to try to take the ring off her finger. But the more she tried, the more Hyeon Choi had to endure excruciating pain. What is this? Could this really mean that I can't take the ring off? The system reappeared with a notification. Affects the wearer's life. Regenerates the wearer. Cannot die until the hatching is complete. Hyeon Choi sat speculating. I saw this notification in a dungeon before. What will hatch? She imagined a scene where a monster would come out of her stomach. Hyeon Choi seemed to fall into a deadlock, unable to find a way. Oh, this thing saved my life. But that does not mean I can relax. I need to take AT off. First, I need to find out what this item is. I can't do AT the official way. If an X-ranked item becomes known to the world, AT will be very troublesome. That means I will have to break the law. Sunlight shone into the room. Hyeon Choi had sat there all night thinking about the ring. The Sefterai is not to VT yet. Early the next morning, in the taxi, Nara curiously asked, why did you suddenly go to the hospital this morning? Hyeon Choi replied, I just had a stomachache. AT is nothing serious. And I want to live with you. Nara was shocked to hear this from Hyeon Choi. Huh. No way. Hyeon Choi blankly turned to ask, why can't I will pay rent? AT'll definitely be fine. Nara still insisted. Even so, AT's still no good. The house is too small. Hyeon Choi made a suggestion. If IT's too small, then let us just move to a bigger place. Nara was extremely surprised and asked, huh, move to a bigger place? She shook her head repeatedly and objected. No way. AT sounds tempting, but still no way. Hyeon Choi felt very confused. Why? Then die. Nara shouted and asked. Why would you say that? Hyeon Choi then asked again. So do you want to live with me? She still insisted on saying no. Hyeon-koi said softly, then just wait until I save enough money and I will leave. I do not want to go to Hyeon-chan's house. Nara nodded in agreement. That is right. She smiled and said, then let us pool our money. Nara immediately regained her composure and said, no way. But how are you going to make money? You left the association yesterday. Hyeon-choi said her plans. I will go work part-time. Nara also noticed. You will make a fortune from that. Hyeon-vo gave a meaningful smile and said, or maybe a dog fight. Nara was very shocked. Are you crazy? Why would you go there? Hyeon-choi said confidently, I will make money for you too. Just trust me. A dog fight. It is not a fight between dogs. But AT's putting awakened people ranked C and below into the arena to fight each other. AT's an underground betting game. Those who bet on the winner will get the money. Nara blankly asked in confusion. Wait a minute. Are not you ranked C? Hiding your rank is not that cheating. Hyeon-choi had also thought about this early on. AT does not matter. My hunter's license says I am ranked C. Even knives are illegal. A little bit of cheating won't make things worse. Right. Nara hesitated and said, that is true. But she suddenly chose to remain silent and looked at Hyeon-koi. After a moment, Nara smiled and said, okay. If the odds increase, we will definitely get the money back. Right. Hyeon-koi laughed and said, you finally understand. A moment later, she led Nara to an old house. This is the dog fight arena. Ada looks no different from a grocery store. Hyeon-choi confided, my younger brother told me about AT not long ago. Nara was very surprised by this. Huh. You have a younger brother. Hyeon-koi strode inside. Just go inside now. Nara was still a little worried. What if this is not the place? Hyeon-choi went and opened the door. Then she gently called, oh, sister. An old woman looked up. Hyeon-koi actively started talking. I am looking for something. The old woman was knitting and asked back. What are you looking for? Hyeon-choi showed her information card. Hyeon-choi, a Frank tanker. The old woman sighed and said, there are many people like you. Do not think too much and just join the association. Hyeon-koi smiled and shared, I left the association yesterday. The old woman gave advice. Then rejoin. If you are a C rank hunter, it is much easier to find work than if you are a D or E. She then said, I am just resting for a bit. I am tired. The old woman looked up and asked, huh, what are you tired of? You are just saying things that come from being too lucky. Hyeon-choi did not say anything but just smiled and looked at her. The old woman carefully looked at her again. Then asked, you have killed someone, have not you? I was wondering why a normal girl like you would come here. Nara, who was standing behind, was startled in fear. Hyeon-koi opened her eyes wide in discomfort. But just a few seconds later, she laughed friendly and said, sister, why would you say such scary things? I have never done that. The old woman bluntly said, go home. You are in the wrong place. Hyeon-choi leaned close to her, then said in an eerie voice, how can I get you to let me in here? She seemed to have discovered something, so she gently raised her finger, making a silent gesture to remind Hyeon-choi. She understood and asked back, can I pay with a card? The old woman clicked her tongue and reminded, remember to bring cash next time. Paying with a card will be charged an extra 10% fee. Hyeon-choi obediently replied, I understand. After paying, she guided the two of them to the entrance inside. Just go straight down this hallway. Hyeon-choi gently used her hand to pull the curtain aside. Nara asked from behind, is not the joining fee too expensive? Is your budget okay? Hyeon-choi was still optimistic and said, is okay. We will make a lot of money anyway. Inside was a bustling arena. Nara kept complaining, what is this? Only cash is accepted here. I should have brought some cash too. Hyeon-koi was about to turn around to ask her, but she was nowhere to be seen. Where did she go? She looked around anxiously. She was so scared just now, but now she is so serious. Wait, does she have cash? And a lot too. You traitor. Hyeon-koi glared at Nara as soon as she turned back. Her expression clearly showed discomfort. Nara screamed in fear and asked, hey, what is with that face? Did I do something wrong? Hyeon-choi resentfully said, when you paid the fee, you were completely silent. Thanks to you, I spent 1.1 million won. Nara then retorted, hey, you managed to get that money. Who would bring extra money? That is not my house. That is the landlord's house, and half of AT belongs to the bank. Hyeon-koi was about to go crazy. I have nowhere to go now. Just as the argument was reaching its peak, a strange voice rang, oh, is this your first time here? Hyeon-koi blankly turned her head to look behind her. A young man with distinctive red hair stood right behind her. He smiled and actively asked, "Can I sit next to you?" Hyeon gave a friendly smile and replied, "Yeah, sure. Go ahead." Kim Dong-ju curiously asked, "Who are you betting on? That ferocious desert man? Or this sea man?" Hyeon Choi said confidently, "I am not betting. I am going to participate." "Who are you planning to bet on?" Dong-ju gave a meaningful smile and said, "I have to bet on someone who is definitely strong. For example, someone like you." "Perhaps." Hyeon Choi frowned in discomfort. "This bastard. He saw my rank," she asked back. "Usually, people bet on men. You do not seem very biased." Huh. Hyeon used the system's investigation skill to investigate Kim Dong-ju, but all the information was completely hidden. She was very surprised when she saw that the investigation skill did not work. Hyeon stared at him and speculated, "My current rank is a... That means he is either a rank or higher than me. Why would a rank hunter or higher come to a place like this?" Dong-ju turned to ask, "You know that the rank limit for participants here is up to C. Right, so why are you participating in this? Did not they check your license? Are you a fraudulent registrant?" Hyeon Choi bluntly replied, after impertinently trying to peek at other people's ranks, "Why do not you mind your own by D-net and watch the match?" Nara loudly defended Hyeon Choi. "What are you saying? Sir, we have hunter licenses." Dong-ju smirked disdainfully. "Yeah. Right," Nara said angrily. "If you are drunk, then just stay drunk peacefully. Do not go picking fights with innocent people." Hyeon Choi blankly turned to ask Nara, "Sir, who are you talking to?" She angrily shouted. "He is right next to you. Right next to you. His nose is all red." From Nara's perspective, Dong-ju was just an ugly, bald old man. Hyeon Choi was stunned and turned to look at him with a confused expression. "Huh. Is there something wrong with my eyes? He looks completely my age." Nara fiercely screamed. "What are you saying? He is clearly a bald old man." Hyeon Choi turned to argue. "What the hell? His hair is thick." Dong-ju could not help but laugh. He said, "That is too harsh. The guy you are talking to might actually get hurt." Hyeon Choi felt more and more confused. What just happened? No way. Is he using a special item to hide his identity? The bell suddenly rang. Desert Ruler. Ocean Storm. The match begins. Nara's extremely eager to watch. AT starting. Seeing Dong-ju just sitting and laughing non-stop, Nara irritably turns and reminds him, "Sir, if you do not want to be kicked just watch the match. My money is on the line." Hyeon Choi can't take her eyes off Dong-ju. Most people here are ordinary people or low-level hunters. If her rank was lower, I bet she would not even be able to see his face. Contestant picks Deoksu, rank E, and Shim Bae-yeon, rank D. Nara excitedly turns to ask Hyeon Choi, "Who do you think will win?" She immediately replies, "After all, rank usually determines everything." Hearing this, Nara has even more faith. "Right, that is why I bet on ranked." Dong-ju turns and reminds her, "You should change AT while you still can." Nara curtly replies, "Mind your own by D-net." The intense match has officially begun. Deoksu lunges and knocks Bae-yeon to the floor. Nara sitting outside starts to feel worried. "Get up." Deoksu throws continuous punches at his opponent. Hyeon Choi chuckles and comments, "Truly a dogfight." Deoksu opens his sharp, pointed teeth wide and bites down hard on Bae-yeon's hand. Dong-ju is quite surprised. He sharpens his teeth fiercely. Hyeon Choi guesses. Ada looks like he is about to lose. Nara still staunchly defends the person she bet on. "Do not say such unlucky things." Dong-ju speaks up, advising her, "Come on. Do not deny the truth anymore." Hyeon Choi gleefully realizes, that ranky guy is really playing dirty. Nara becomes annoyed and says, "What are you two talking about? Did not you see I bet 300? He is about to counterattack." The Missy announces the result. Desert Dominator Deoksu wins. After receiving this extremely heartbreaking result, Nara feels like she is about to transcend. "My money. My 300. She bursts into tears of regret. Dong-ju smirks and says, "I told you. You should have listened to me." Nara still hugs her head and screams in despair. Hyeon Choi bursts a laughing. "This dogfight is really funny." Nara angrily turns and grabs her by the collar. "Hey, how can you still laugh? You said rank D would win. What about my money?" Hyeon Choi makes a sinister face and asks, "What the hell are you doing?" Nara is startled and realizes her reckless action just now. So she quickly lets go of Hyeon Choi's collar and explains, "Sorry, I lost control for a second. When are you participating in the match? You said I just need to bet on you. Right?" Hyeon Choi turns away abruptly. "I am not doing AE. I changed my mind." Nara is stunned by this sudden decision. "Hey, Where are you going? You said you would help me make money. Hyeon-koi sighs and thinks to herself, you should be thanking me for not grabbing your collar harder. Anyway, that item just now looks illegal. If he is only using AT to hide his identity like that, is he a criminal? Or maybe… Hyeon-koi then calls out a Dunju. Hey. He turns his head and asks, what? Giving up and joining now? Guess you have some conscience after all. Hyeon-choi, as she walks towards him, says, how can I join after being caught red-handed? Because I can't make money. AT's your fault, so take responsibility. Dunju kindly offers advice. Are you crazy? How is AT my fault? Do not waste your amazing rank rotting away here. Join a guild. You will make more money in a place like that. Hyeon-koi smiles brightly and replies, AT's a hobby, just a hobby. What about you? Why are you hanging around here? Even using illegal items. Dunju quickly replies, just a hobby. I am pretending not to notice your little scam. Now mind your own by DNet. Hyeon-choi gets closer and closer to him. I do not want to. I need the distribution network, you know. Where did you get AT? That item. Dunju bluntly says. What? Are you planning to become a criminal? Sorry, I have no intention of telling you. Hyeon-koi laughs and comments. You are really difficult. A loud noise erupts, causing both of them to pay attention. A group of police suddenly rush in and shout, raid the illegal gambling den. Arrest them all. Dunju starts to feel tired. Getting arrested will be troublesome. Why do not you leave? Well then, before he can finish his sentence, Hyeon-koi grabs his wrist tightly. Why not? He blankly asks. What are you doing? Hyeon tells Dunju to choose. You will take me there, or get arrested with me right now. Hyeon-choi is determined to hold Dunju's hand tightly. He angrily tries to struggle Fikurai from her. You crazy woman. Let go. You are clinging like a leech and won't let go. She even calls for a guard in a sweet voice. Hey guard, come get this guy. Immediately a guard rushes UV there. Catch him. Outside, everything is still strangely quiet. Suddenly, an explosion erupts, destroying the entire building. Dunju and Hyeon-choi flee outside together. Both of them dash away like arrows in the fog. Hyeon-choi running behind asks, is AT okay to destroy the entire building like that? Dunju seriously says, just follow me. What are you planning to do here? Are you really planning to become a criminal? Hyeon-koi also does not hesitate to answer. Was not I just gonna price my item? And if IT's okay, maybe I will take a few things. What rank are you? Or S, Dunju says in a challenging tone. If you are curious, see for yourself, Hyeon-choi truthfully replies. Sorry, but I can't see AT. He suggests, then level up if you find AT annoying. She can only shake her head in exasperation. You make difficult things sound so easy. The two of them have been running from the time the sky was just starting to brighten until AT was pitch black. Hyeon-choi stands leaning against a tree nearby and pants for breath. She still keeps speculating about Donjin's rank. What the hell is he so fast? There is no way he is rank A. Is this guy really ranks? She calls A. How much further? Dunju immediately announces. We are here. Hyeon-koi's eyes widen as she looks ahead. She is stunned for a moment and then asks in surprise. Is this the place? Dunjin places his hand on the cliff face. Then moves AT to the one of the clock position to open the gate. Before entering, he still does not forget to warn her. Once inside, do not mention my name. Hyeon-koi is curious. I can't know you. What? Are you famous? He turns to introduce himself. You are probably the only hunter who has not heard of me. Kim Dunju. We look about the same age. Should we talk casually? Hyeon-koi smiles friendly and says, go ahead. How old are you? Donjin replies, 26 years old. Hyeon-koi is quite surprised by this coincidence. Me too. The mysterious door is gradually opened. Inside is an extremely bustling shop. It's unbelievable that there is a place like this inside a cave. They can really dig up all sorts of crazy things. Who made a cave like this? Donju replies, hunters. Hyeon-koi asks curiously, hunters do this too. He also enthusiastically explains. Awaken people, hunters with criminal records, or people who later turn to crime often come to places like this. Hyeon-koi laughs and asks again, how do you know all that? Dunjin recounts, I used to hang around here a lot. A thought suddenly flashes through her mind. I know. You are an ex-criminal. Dunjin quickly denies that guess. No. Hyeon-koi takes the opportunity to ask further. So what do you do now? A person like you. Do you run a guild or something? Dunjin says I just joined a guild. She asks in surprise. Which guild? He smiles again with a hidden meaning and replies. That is a secret. Hyeon stops in front of a fortune-telling booth. The old woman inside frowns and looks at her, saying, "That is strange. I can't read anything." She looks at the ring on Hyeon hand and asks, "Miss, where did you get this?" She recounts finding AT in a dungeon. AT is a bound item so AT can't slip off my finger. That old woman makes a bewildered face and asks further, "That is impossible. No matter what, there is always a way to take AT off." Right. AT does not budge. So I came all the way here. Hyeon also asks worriedly, "Is there a way to take AT off?" The old woman hesitates and replies, "I have never seen anything like this before." Her face clearly expresses extreme boredom. So even they do not know. The old woman asks Hyeon for her opinion. "Do you mind if I try?" She enthusiastically replies, "Yes. Please do." She gently touches the ring on Hyeon hand. A sharp pain rushes in again, making AT impossible for her to endure. That old woman also jumps back in surprise and screams loudly. Hyeon describes the moment at that time. "AT will be very painful when I try to take a tie off, similar to when I passed through." The old woman has to admit that a tie is a strange item. "I do not think I can properly appraise AT, but at least let me check its name. What is the item called?" Hyeon tries to remember the name of the item. "Just call AT anonymous." She thinks to herself, "I can't risk talking about this." The old woman has to say helplessly, "Sorry, I can't give you a price. I won't take any money." Hyeon can only nod and reply yes. "Then I will go." Oh. Suddenly something catches her eye. AT turns out to be shadow earrings. Hides the wearer's stats. However, AT has no effect on people of rank 2 or higher. Hyeon observes that item carefully. "Hide my stat. If I have AT, even ranks can't tell what rank I am." She turns to ask the old woman, "How much is this?" She points to the earrings and says 300. "That item is quite useless to low-rank people like you. Are you sure you want to buy 80? Hyeon does not think much and immediately confirms. "Do you accept cards?" The old woman blankly asks again. "Huh." Donju seeing this speaks up and says, "Here, I will pay for AT." The girl becomes excited to own the shadow earrings. "Hey, can you still see my rank?" Donju turns his head and says no. "Unless you are rank A. AT only hides from ranks and above." "Right," she confidently says. "Yeah, AT does not work for S+ or higher. I will never be able to meet anyone like that." Donju gently reminds her, "Do not be too sure. You might be right. Anyway, let us talk about that item. What kind of item can hide a person's rank like that?" Hyeon turns her face away and pretends to be clueless. Then quickly goes to another stall to avoid the question. "This is amazing." Donju stands frozen for a few seconds. She is too fast. He stands staring at Hyeon while she sits in a corner and thinks, "Oh man, this is annoying. Should I find another appraiser? No, if rumors leak Ada will only cause more trouble. But I can't just let Ada go like this. Is there no other way?" Hyeon suddenly remembers something. That is right. Hidden dungeon. If I go back there, maybe I will find a way. There are a total of 11 hidden dungeons in the world, one of them in Korea. There are also 2 duplicate hidden dungeons. Dungeons do not disappear after being cleared, they will reset, which means the hidden dungeon I once entered must have reset. I need to check as many dungeons as possible. I will find AT and return the ring to where AT belongs. But I can't enter a dungeon without a guild. Do I really have to join another guild? I do not want to. Donju stands silently watching Hyeon for almost the whole time. He remembers the moment when he bargained at the old woman's stall. Any item that costs 300, take 200. The old woman slams her hand on the table in anger. "What? 230. This is my final offer." "You scoundrel." Donju takes his wallet and keeps complaining. "You have only cared about money the whole time, and you did not even appraise AT properly. You should retire immediately." The old woman glances at him and says, "Retire my ass. Receiving money. Will a new dungeon appear or something? In other words, I can hear about an item like that." Donju takes the money of his wallet, glances at the old woman, then gives her 300,000. "Right, you said I just cleared a dungeon, did not I? Anyway, I am going." "Old woman." That old woman uncomfortably reminds him, "Do not call me that." Back in reality, Donju sits down next to Hyeon and asks, "Hyeon, right, I collect rare items as a hobby. You know." Hyeon understands and raises her ring finger. "So, you want this, can't you see? AT can't be taken off." Donju then grabs her hand and says, "Even if I can't, there is still one way. I can just take the finger too." Hyeon smiles nervously. "That is a pretty crazy hobby." Huh. Donju starts to speculate, but AT still strange. There have not been any new dungeons recently. but an item that even the old woman has never seen has appeared. You went to a hidden dungeon, did not you? Hyeon Koi stares at him. Damn A. That is why he was so kindly offering to guide me like that. She starts to become wary of him. This bastard. He has been hiding a huge amount of mana. Only a rank difference of 1 but overwhelmingly oppressive. But even so, compared to the despair of that day. Hyeon Koi remembers the indescribable feeling of fear at that time. Then she screams loudly to relieve the tension in her heart. A surge of power erupts. Startling Dunju. Hyeon Choi's scream seems to want to blow away everything in this cave. Dunju covers his ears and mutters, "What the hell?" Using a skill outside the dungeon. Usually when a awakened person faces someone of a higher rank, they will instinctively submit to the stronger one. This girl, that instinct is not in her dictionary. It is as if a T's been torn apart by her. Was she born like that? Or is there something that made her like that? But does that matter now? Now I am sure. Hyeon Koi stands up panting. She raises her finger and challenges Dunju. Try to take a tea. You bastard. Dunju raises his hands and says with a smile. Sorry. Maybe I was joking too much. If I tease this woman, she might be able to find a hidden dungeon. Dunju slowly walks towards Hyeon Koi. You need to know more about that item. Right. Then there is only one way. Let us search for the hidden dungeon together. I will help you. Hyeon Choi looks at Dunju with a suspicious expression. Back home, Narrow Eyes collapsed on the bed in sadness. Not eating. Hyeon Koi standing next to her keeps trying to tempt her. Really, but AT's braised pig's trotters. Do not you like AT a lot? I even bought soju, too. Well, I will eat AT alone. Nara screams loudly. Does braised pig's trotters matter? You were here. Huh. Why did you leave me here? The building and everything collapsed. Hyeon Choi calmly repeats, you guys left me. Nara can't deny that terrible thing in the past. That is true. But, a moment later, Hyeon Choi while enjoying the braised trotters asks, have you calmed down yet? Nara shyly replies, yes. What are you going to do to cover living expenses? The ring battle is Zuvich. You know. Do you want to take this opportunity to prepare for the guild recruitment with me? Hyeon Choi tells her about her upcoming plans. He's okay. I will go search for hidden dungeons again. I might be coming home late lately. Nara asks in a panic. What? Why go there? What is more important than that? How? Hyeon Choi hesitates and replies. Dungeon loop. Maybe. Nara worriedly asks further. No. I mean, how can you go when you are not affiliated with any organization? She confidently replies, someone is taking care of that. Kim Dunju said he will help me. Nara says uncomfortably. What? You mean that ranks Kim Dunju? Hyeon Choi feels puzzled. Yeah. That is the person. How did you recognize the name so quickly? While you did not recognize him when he was sitting next to me. Nara says in annoyance, do not lie. Why would he come to the ring arena? And the man next to you was a middle-aged man. AT's definitely fake. She then opens her phone for Hyeon Choi to see. Here. Look, I will show you Kim Dunju's fancy face. Really? How can you mistake him for someone else? Even the age is wrong. You know the Paehyok Guild, do not you? He is from that guild. Hyeon Choi is also surprised. Really? That is him? What? So he is from the Paehyok Guild? Nara's mouth drops open in astonishment. Are you serious? You mean that middle-aged man was really him? But how is that possible? Hyeon Choi speculates. It seems he used an appearance-changing item. The more she hears, the more shocked Nara becomes. She becomes completely depressed. You should have told me sooner. I said a bunch of things without knowing AT was him. Hyeon Choi comforts Nara. AT's okay. He does not mind. She sighs dejectedly and confides. I was not even invited to the guild. Hyeon Choi casually says, but what is so good about Paehyok? Nara quickly refutes her statement. Not good. If you get into Paehyok, you do not have to worry about living expenses anymore. They even have very generous benefits. The Pae Guild, a guild founded directly by one of the only 2 SES rank people in the world. Among the 8 people who have reached S rank, 3 are currently affiliated with this guild. With overwhelming power, AT is considered to have an influence comparable to a nation. AT is the strongest guild in the world. Paehyok. With an entry rate of 1 in 1,000. Hyeon Choi does not bother to pay attention and only focuses on enjoying the meal. Is AT delicious? Eat a lot. So the two of them continue to eat. Cut to a forest. Hyeon Choi stands staring at Dunju. He is curious and asks her, what is wrong? Hyeon Choi says nothing. Just surprised that you belong to the Paehyok Guild. He asks in surprise. How did you know? I was planning to keep AT a secret. Dunju sees the shield behind Hyeon Choi and is curious. What are you carrying that for? She turns her head and says, are not we going into the dungeon? He smirks mysteriously. You will know when you go in. Come on. Hyeon Choi angrily demands, what is AT? Just tell me. Dongju ignores her and urges her to hurry up. Suddenly he stops and reminds her. And do not let your guard down. Hidden dungeons are much more dangerous than you think. Two people, Hyeon Choi and Kim Dongju, has entered the place to do the mission. Suddenly a monster rushes. Rank lizardman soldier has been killed with one strike. Hyeon Choi, while killing the monster, asked that guy. When said be careful, but nothing happened. While killing the monster he teased her. In the hidden dungeon only low-level monster. Make Hyeon Choi very angry. But also do not know if those low-level monster will find the hidden dungeon or not. Kim Dongju reassured her, told keep searching everywhere, regardless that is hidden dungeon or not, then criticized the shield made Hyeon Choi very angry. Has the sound of footsteps of other monster. Two people look down, see boss lizardman. He also did not find the hidden dungeon, but AT has appeared. But now he also do not know how, expressed with Hyeon Choi keep searching then will fight boss. Listen that. She also thought. The lizardman has detected that someone is here. But unexpectedly, Hyeon Choi has used the move straight hand took its head. Then she said when has killed that monster. Not waste time. Dungeon not appear means do not have. Hyeon Choi told go next, because she did not have much time. The ring at this time has strange change. They still together go find other dungeon. The scene of the fierce locust before, again appears in her head. With that shield, which she had used to defend against these. And when she despaired, called Hyeon Chan save at critical moment. She remembered he put his hand on her shoulder, then called her name. Also obsessed with the sentence, please die for me of him. His mouth smirked, confessed that is the reason family let her in together. Then, he has used his hand pushed her to the front. When about to fall down, Hyeon Choi has despaired shed tears. The place she fall down at that time is the abyss with dozens of locusts. Are under cannot escape. Suddenly, Hyeon Choi woke up panicked after the nightmare. Eyes very dull, and had to gasp for breath because scared. She raised her trembling hand. But then angry grasped back, resentful when he died. The Sefterai has ended already but. Damn to why he appear in her dream. Then Hyeon Choi looked at Nara are sleeping very well, while she is opposite. But she again silent. Remember Nara has begged to live, but then thought again anyway she also betrayed her. Hyeon Choi thought, will handle roommate at any time, but not now. She clinged to the door of the refrigerator continued thought. When I find the answer for the thing inside me. Then will not have to enter the dungeon again. Also do not have thing binded her. When Hyeon Choi still thinking, and poured water glass. Turned around she has seen, Nara hastily called late already. That friend answered her question. I has the interview with the Wayan Guild. That friend still blaming the alarm not willing to ring. Then Hyeon Choi has offered she will take her there. Listen that. Nara also confused when Nu Ve Lai Bi she did not have car. Go to hall. A luxurious car has been parked to Viola Lava yet there. Nara very surprised when see that car. Kim Dongju has spoken greet, because recognized has met her last time. Look the aura of him. She has excited ask. Why are you at here? Nara again sulky. When here Hyeon Choi reminded him about the age no need use honorifics. Kim Dongju also speechless when here she said. In Nara head still thinking what should do. But mouth still said. Kim Dongju the thing last time is I was wrong. Sheer very terrified. Afraid wanna lose soul. Hoped herself not killed. See she fainted Hyeon Choi with Kim Dongju also tied. At this time, he has drove the car bon on the road. When here Hyeon Choi asked about the stop car, Nara still did not have time to regain asked. Traffic light pole it there. Kim Dongju asked Nara interview at which guild. Then was she answered. Hawaiian. Hyeon Choi also recognized the president of that guild has discovered the hidden dungeon, and received the confirmation of Kim Dongju. Then again asked him why not find dungeon with them. He also said he did not have good feeling. The relationship between them also not very good. But two people again mocking each other about the cooperation. While Nara still crying, wanted herself go then they would argue. They has arrived the place, and received bodyguard greeting. Kim Dongju asked about the situation of the dungeon, and was known can enter immediately. Hyeon Choi curious about these people. Also as he explained, they are members of the guild managing the place. Then again teased her, when not know has guild managing dungeon. She also not just said will report him. Kim Dongju said cannot, because herself also will meet trouble. But she again chased him go with the president of the Hawaiian, which she see that a bit too much. When has confirmed now can enter, she has said, quickly find then separate ways. Those guys and Kim Dongju were also wide-eyed in surprise. He turned to the broadcast wing. They had to do guard duty. At this moment, he still could not believe he was standing there laughing like that. But he also calmed down and went into the dungeon. Hyeon was inside at this moment, seeing Kim Dongju walking slowly, while she wanted to finish quickly. The ring on her hand suddenly reacted. And for some reason, Aita suddenly acted like that, looking at her hand, but now the ring was normal again. She also doubted if she had seen It wrong and remembered the strange dream from yesterday and intended to take It off. When Kim Dongju asked why she was standing there, Hyeon got angry because he took too long. He walked and blamed her in his mind. But she was still looking at the ring. She saw him acting like a delinquent, but she needed to gather more information. When she took off the ring, nothing inside her stomach disappeared, and she needed to quickly find the hidden dungeon. 1 month later, at the assignment location, the monster birds in here were still flying around. One of them noticed something. Then At intended to use its talons to grab Hyeon, who was standing there. But she hit At with her power. The damage from this move was not small at all. But the monster was also dismembered. She was eliminating them one by one. Hyeon unleashed critical hits, very quickly to deal with these birds. No monster was intact when Ada died, when she hit It. Kim Dongju saw this scene and did not know what was happening, why she was so hot-tempered these days. Then he told her to continue because Ada seemed they would not find It today. Her eyes at this moment had become murderous. Then she struck straight at him. But Kim Dongju blocked At and asked why she suddenly did that. She seemed to have turned into someone else. But Kim Dongju still asked, "Do you want to test my strength?" Kim Dongju was still holding Hyeon's fist tightly. Then he threw her away, saying he would not be lenient. Thrown like that, but she managed to stop. But her eyes still showed that another soul had possessed her. Suddenly, Hyeon paused and escaped from the soul just now. Having fought monsters too hard, she woke up and did not know what had happened just now. Kim Dongju said she needed to rest for a while. He would handle the boss. She watched him walk away. Then she tiredly hugged her head. Feeling uncomfortable, not knowing what the hell she had just done. Then she thought, was finding the hidden dungeon not the right decision? And she did not know what to do, feeling like the ring was taking control. Cut to where Hyeon lived. She told Nara that she was back. Just about to enter the house, she saw her friend's expression was very strange, not knowing what was wrong. Her friend sadly said that she had been rejected again today. Both girls had been struggling with finding a job in these difficult times for a month, but there was no progress. Hyeon threw a bag of things to Nara, telling her to eat something. Her friend asked what she bought. She replied with pig's trotters. Opening the refrigerator, Hyeon asked if there was still soju. Her friend confirmed that there was. After finishing a glass of alcohol, Nara cursed again. She was very heartbroken about the job situation, feeling that maybe At was because she only had Bi-Dech buffing abilities and was only at level C. Nara continued to complain about life, having awakened her buffing ability. Hyeon thought about going to find the hidden dungeon again tomorrow. Her friend said she just wanted to get stronger. Hearing that, our girl noticed, asked her if she could not kill monsters to increase her stats. But the suffering was that Nara could not because she was not a combat type. Hearing that, she could not help her. Nara drooped again and shed tears, but still did not forget to ask why Hyeon was so strong. Then suspected she had picked up something in the hidden dungeon. Hyeon suddenly became different, while Hara was feeling great and wanted to enter the hidden dungeon with her. The other soul possessed her, saying her thoughts. Great, I hate everything I have right now. But Sarah still did not realize the strangeness in her friend's words, still wanting to get stronger from items, to join the guild, and thinking she was unlucky. Hyeon was very upset hearing that she was lucky, remembering being bitten by insects, not being able to die, and being an endless food source for them. Because she endured such a scene, she became strong because that was the only way to survive. Hyeon's gruesome face looked at Nara when she saw her talking a lot without knowing anything, and she had the idea of eliminating her friend. Nara was drunk but still said things like, "I am not looked down on and I can earn more money." Hyeon asked, "Do you think you are lucky?" making her surprised. Her expression at this moment was very dangerous, seeing that Nara had no guilt and was still talking nonsense. Her friend was also scared, explaining that she did not mean It that way. Then Hyeon asked, "What do you mean?" Nara was very scared, apologizing when she said the wrong thing because she drank too much, not knowing what she had just said. Having luckily survived, Nara was afraid that she would change her mind and kill her. Being very scared, not knowing what to do, she could only apologize. Trembling, she said to Hyeon, "Please pretend you did not hear anything," and admitted that she was really wrong. Hyeon looked at her thoughtfully, then sighed. thinking, what does she know? So AT's right to be curious. At this moment, she said to eat more, reminding her friend not to talk nonsense anymore, and Nara fearfully agreed. The two fell into silence, continuing to eat and drink. Hyeon-choi held a glass of wine, intending to say something. Hearing her call, Nara immediately responded. Her friend was told by Hyeon-choi about how she almost died but picked up the ring. Nara realized that she survived thanks to the ring. Then she repeated that the ring did not use overwhelming skills. If she wanted to increase her stats, there was only one way. That was to kill so much that she could not count. Nara listened in shock, but she said, then that is not logical at all. Her friend asked back what Hyeon-choi meant, how a tank like her could kill so many monsters. More importantly, they just closed the door and she came out right away, but she said she increased her stats in such a short time. Hyeon-choi put down her chopsticks thoughtfully. Nara continued to ask, what happened to you in there? She said, I died so many times. That was repeated thousands of times, sometimes tens of thousands of times. She really wanted to die at that time. Nara also did not understand, when she meant constantly dying in there. Hyeon-choi confirmed that was right. That was how she became stronger. She also said she was very desperate. At that time, she did not want to become anything. But then thought, I do not understand why I have to endure this. And when she got she realized that time had not changed. The people who ran ahead were still standing in the same place. She told everything she went through to become stronger. Nara felt that AT was indeed crazy. Nara still did not understand why she was so strong, wanting to go find the hidden dungeon with Hyeon-choi. Then suddenly became scared, seeing that she was so carefree that she did not realize AT at all. But still stubbornly said, AT's that I do not understand. Hyeon-choi said she did not need to understand. Just needed to know that AT was something that had happened. Nara trembled and asked her why she saved her, making Hyeon-choi surprised. Her friend was very regretful that she had become like that, but she did not stop that bastard from closing the door. Hyeon-choi heard that and was stunned. She chuckled to herself and laughed at her very loudly. She said the reason she saved her friend was not because she deserved it but because of a whim. Nara also silently listened to Hyeon-choi. Then Nara honestly said the word, sorry. Hearing that, she was also silent. Hyeon-choi's voice echoed in the room, teasing Nara who was crying. Another day, Kim Dongju was answering that he had been apologized to, when someone asked. The boss was rushing to attack, but Hyeon-choi was still wondering who had apologized to him. He replied that AT was his family and the people around him, but asked back if AT was not the same for her. She also said that she had been apologized to once when she was a child. He felt that she had AT hard. Hyeon-choi also confessed that she thought she would spend her whole life apologizing to others. Then recalled the past of being abandoned by that bastard. And the person who saved her did not save herself. And also Nara's apology the day before. She never thought she would be apologized to by others. Although AT was not the person who should apologize to her, Hyeon-choi was still telling. Then her face lit up with joy when she received trust for the first time. And the feeling was new. Kim Dongju listened thoughtfully, then said to her, AT's Nara. Right. The two walked and talked. Hyeon-choi did not want to be teased because he found her secret. When they got to the door of the house, he also realized that Hyeon-choi was not irritable today when she did not find the hidden dungeon, thanks to Nara. Thinking about taking Nara along to control her, but then stopped. Kim Dongju saw something unexpected. He was very surprised, not knowing what this was. A woman who looked fierce asked, where have you been? You brat, making him not understand why this gorilla was here. Kim Dongju was very worried in his head, afraid that his sister would find that he was looking for the hidden dungeon. Then the 100% deal would be ruined. He tried to ignore her, saying she was like his mother, but she went straight to the point, saying that she had heard everything and that he had neglected his work while going abroad. Lying down to rest, he made up a reason, saying that he had not been to the black market for a long time, so he went to see the items. His sister also sat down and said, just to confirm, while she was away, did her brother have the heart to find the hidden dungeon? Kim Dongju denied AT, but then added, damn making his sister punch him repeatedly when he dared to curse at her. After being punched, he still argued that he did not swear. Then he kicked this gorilla sister away. His sister also turned around and countered, saying, you have to be polite to your older sister. Being hit repeatedly, Kim Dongju said that when she was away, he was bullied by other gangs, but she told him to tell the truth. He blocked his sister's fist, then said he did not go out to play. His sister also stopped and asked, what did you do after all? Kim Dongju confessed that he went on a date, silently apologizing for borrowing Hyeon Choi's name. His sister's eyes widened when she heard the word date from her brother's mouth. Then she pulled her brother, thinking he was cheating on someone else's daughter. He did not expect that this was what his sister said to her brother. His sister apologized for hitting him too hard, seeing that her brother made up a very interesting sefif to Rai, and asked where the two met. Although he found AT annoying, he still told her that he went to the arena last month to take a look. His eyes were firm and unwavering as he recounted. When he accidentally met her, then remembering the contemptuous look Hyeon Choi gave him at that time, his sister asked if she was his type, but in her head, she said disgusting. He also told her in detail what they talked about. And now they were together. His sister still suspected that her brother was imagining AT, making him very annoyed. Then his sister seriously asked, why is Hyeon Choi there? Is she a dangerous person? And Kim Dongju said that she was a level C hunter without a guild, recently taking a break to relax. So she came to see him, and their feelings right now were ambiguous. Telling AT like that, but he was still afraid and apologized to Hyeon Choi in his head because he had to live first. Hearing ambiguous, his sister yelled at her brother for not going to work. Kim Dongju also retorted that he would go to work because of this nagging sister. His sister also sat down and said, I have heard this sentence a lot, reminding her brother to be careful when the guild leader was waiting for him. Although he agreed with his sister in words, he was thinking about how to restrain himself later. Then thought about the reason why his sister nagged him. Because there were not enough members to go into the dungeon. He remembered the most recent battle, when the leader tried to tell everyone to hold their positions when he gave the signal. But everyone in the thym was surprised. When the two siblings Kim Dongju simultaneously rushed up, Kim Dongju hit the monster and said to his sister, I am going to win today. His sister on the other side was also doing her best to eliminate monsters. Hearing her brother say that, she also shouted to slow down. Then he thought that usually, they had to follow the leader. But the two siblings ignored him and competed with each other. The same was true in another dungeon. The two siblings rushed up to compete with each other, also criticizing the monsters, while their teammates had been beaten to a pulp. Seeing this situation, everyone saw that the two siblings were causing a small problem. The members also stopped teaming up with them. His sister spoke up and asked, who does your brother recommend who has the ability in the next recruitment? Kim Dongju did not expect to have to do this much, suggesting finding a knave newcomer. But the two agreed that the newcomer could not stand them. Then he sighed, saying he would try to find someone. His sister turned around and excitedly asked, what about your ambiguous one? Kim Dongju was shocked when his sister mentioned the two words ambiguous, then turned around and scolded his sister when she mentioned her. His sister did not understand why not when she was a hunter who did not have a guild yet, and found it interesting to thym up with the ambiguous one, like dating in the dungeon. Then reminded her brother not to pay attention to her because even if they flirted, she would only care about fighting monsters. His sister was very excited imagining how many monsters she would deal with, wanting to know where her brother's ambiguous one was, what she liked to eat. Kim Dongju was also scared when he saw his sister's eyes. When he heard about meeting the family, he was even more shocked, seeing that this gorilla sister was really crazy. At Hyeon Choi's neighborhood, there was a sigh from someone. Nara stood there, not expecting to say the sentence I do not want to go home. She remembered Hyeon Choi's expression, seeing that yesterday was really crazy. When her friend's Asif Ture shocked Nara so much that she unconsciously apologized. Then she thought that AT was a little awkward to face her at this time. Preparing to enter the password to enter the house. She also did not know what to do when Hyeon Choi did not have anywhere to go. She still told herself that she would treat her well, even though she was very tired. Unexpectedly, Hyeon Choi peeked her head out to greet Nara, making her startled. When Nara was still wondering why she came back so early, she learned that Hyeon Choi was waiting for her. She happily said that she would move. Hearing that, Nara was also surprised, not knowing what was wrong with her because she knew that she did not have anywhere to go. Not long before, Hyeon Choi was very annoyed because she could not find any hidden dungeons. But she could not find anything, while her body was becoming more and more strange. Then she thought about the strange expression the day before. Although she did not encounter anything today, she did not know when AT would happen again. Hyeon Choi also realized that AT was because of this ring. Constantly thinking, if IT happened inside the dungeon, AT would be easy, but outside AT would be very annoying, especially where she was staying. Nara spoke up and interrupted, saying, my house. Right. And she confirmed IT, although AT was a bit sudden. Her friend still understood the reason. Her friend asked about Hyeon Choi's plan to move O. She said that she had just started looking, so it would take about 2 weeks. The two continued to eat. Nara also did not expect her to cook such a delicious meal. She also said that as long as she had the ingredients, she could cook everything. Hyeon Choi confessed that she had not cooked often lately, but now it was pretty good. She also told about cooking for Hyeon Chan when the two were living together, but now she only hated him. Hearing that Nara unexpectedly spat on her food, not knowing why she attacked so suddenly, Hyeon Choi saw her friend like that and asked her, but in Nara's head, she still blamed her. Just having calmed down, Nara's phone suddenly rang. She picked up the phone, not knowing who was calling yet. When she saw the caller's name, her face became surprised. Seeing her like that, Hyeon Choi also asked what was wrong. Nara was happy to tears, announcing to her that she had passed the first round of the test. When asked where, she replied, Paeok Guild, then turned to kneel and worship the gods, praying that she would pass the second round and would worship carefully. Hyeon Choi also wondered how the next test would take place. Nara told her the work she needed to do in 3 days, which was to team up with new people and practice for the battle in the dungeon. Because of this happy thing, the two girls were very happy, wanting to drink soju together until they were completely drunk. They drank alcohol together for a very long time. Nara was drunk, but going to bed she still felt happy to have this life. She was so happy that she even wished Hyeon Choi good night. She also saw that her friend was very drunk. Just saying that someone was drunk, but turning around she hugged her soft bear to sleep, then wished Nara good night. Suddenly, her friend lay in silence. Hyeon Choi heard her call, then replied. Nara asked if she had done well. Her friend was annoyed when she heard her teasing that she wanted to be praised, then said it was okay whatever she thought, when she did not expect anything from Hyeon Choi. She said that Nara should just be like usual, making her surprised. Hyeon Choi recalled that when she was in the Hanshin Guild, she did very well because she passed the first round, so she did not need to be afraid of anything. Nara looked at her with admiration, as if she had been given strength. Her friend spoke up, thanking Hyeon Choi. Nara told her to go to sleep, when she was teased that she needed praise. Preparing to sleep, Hyeon Choi heard the phone ring. Nara had also fallen asleep, but she did not know who would text her at this hour. Kim Dongju texted, asking her if she wanted to join Paeok, but she laughed when she heard the name Paeok. Then she just replied with a middle finger, then laughed haha. She let go of the phone, not caring about the guild, saying that he should take her to find the hidden dungeon instead. The next morning, at the neighborhood where Hyeon Choi lived, Kim Dongju was feeling very tired. Then his sister came out to greet Hyeon Choi. She heard her greeting her, also quite surprised, and his sister introduced herself, saying that she was Kim Dongju's older sister, and had heard a lot about her. Hyeon Choi was very surprised that she was mentioned by him, also not understanding what she was looking for. Then looked Ju V at Kim Dongju walking behind trying to signal her to be silent, but also not knowing what was wrong with him. His sister took off her glasses, saying that they were sisters, so she wanted to meet her directly. Then seriously said that she was the first person to reject an invitation from Paeok, so she wanted to come and directly invite her to join. Then mentioned her guild, asking if Hyeon Choi did not want to join. Kim Dongju's sister was still complacent, thinking that Hyeon Choi could not refuse because joining the guild would receive many benefits that hunters could only dream of. Then said that she was lucky when a level C hunter was accepted by a large guild. It was a miracle. Kim Dongju was very confused when his sister kept talking about the benefits of joining the guild to go into dungeons, and also said that she would protect her. Then also said that she did not have many opportunities like this, and she would also earn a lot of money. Hearing that, but Hyeon Choi still coldly said, no, making Dongju's sister feel like a bolt from the blue. He felt that At was right, but then called, sister,